Hi, this is Skip Bayless, and thank you for listening to the Undisputed podcast. I just posted a personal story on my Facebook page. If you want to know what I'm really all about, what makes me tick, what made me me, you should read what I wrote about my upbringing. You should read about how I succeeded in spite of a mean-spirited drunk of a father and a mother who was too interested in herself to ever be much interested in me. You should read about my athletic achievements and my chokes. You'll find my story on my Facebook page. And now, let's get the show started.
No mercy.
Good morning. Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from LA. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe. Good morning, you two.
What are we celebrating? Are we celebrating you're soon going to owe me 17 cases of Diet Mountain Dew? 17?
Skip back. Excuse me. Was someone talking?
Is that what we're celebrating?
well, what are we
Wait,
celebrating?
are we celebrating LeBron's debacle last night at Washington? Oh.
Hold on.
Oh.
Andrew, I'll call you back after the show. I got to talk about how great you were yesterday. It's Andrew Luck.
Oh, you mean the dink and dunker?
Whoa.
The dink and dunker Andrew Luck. I love him.
He told me to tell you hello.
Really?
Yeah, Andrew Luck. Skip, I got this. You want some of this, Skip?
No, I don't drink.
You don't
Nor
drink?
do I smoke.
You were drinking yesterday.
I'm actually, no, I wasn't.
You didn't drink yesterday?
I was drinking Diet Mountain Dew all day.
What you do with that jersey? Now, I told you on Friday, Jenny. I said, now,
I know.
on Sunday, you're not going to throw that jersey in the trash in the kitchen.
No,
You're going to walk it to the dumpster.
I didn't do it.
Oh,
Kept
yeah.
it? Good.
Oh, Snoop sent me a little package, Skip.
Yeah.
This 3
That's
days.
that stuff.
This right here, Jenny.
Yeah.
You right here,
Yeah.
you could fall for 3 days and never hit the ground. That's how good this stuff here right here. Oh, Skip, how you doing?
3
Skip,
days.
Yeah. How you doing, Skip?
I'm doing great. We're about to win the NFC East.
Whoa,
How are you doing?
Oh, okay.
I thought y'all was going to win that Sunday.
So did they. Yep, that's the problem.
That is the problem.
Yeah.
Gee, that's a big old bottle right there,
Do
huh,
you
Jenny?
need anything else, or are we good?
Then for
Good
the
to
Christmas
start.
party. I'm going to have me a Christmas party.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to have my own
For
Christmas party.
LeBron's,
Skip, we not going to
he did like an untriple-double yesterday.
This is a football Sunday. We're not discussing LeBron.
Miss Trip Dub kicked him right in the shin.
You know what, Skip
Yep.
Bayless? I know what
don't
you
know.
try to do. You try to deflect.
Yeah.
But
I'm not
gonna let
trying to
you- Yes,
deflect.
you are.
I just
Go ahead,
trying to
Jenny.
figure
Go
out
ahead.
what
Go
We
you
ahead.
have a
celebrate.
lot
No,
to
no,
get to
no,
today.
no,
Maybe
we already
LeBron
did that. Do I have to do two
all
fist
hyped
bumps
up.
when my team loses?
Yep.
Oh, that's how
On
it's
today's show, is it the beginning of the end for Skip's guy Tom Brady? And are
What?
the Eagles actually better
Who would
without
ask that
Shannon's guy? Walk it to him. You didn't bring that up in your celebration. But let's start with the Cowboys. They were riding high on a 5-game winning streak, but that is over. The Colts shut out Dallas 23-0 yesterday. It was the first time the Cowboys have been shut out in 15 years. Dallas had plenty of chances in the red zone, but could not score, and they've been held out of the red zone in 10 out of their last 12 quarters. Dallas is now 8-6 and just one game ahead of Philly and Washington in the division. Let's take a listen to what Dak Prescott said about the loss.
I don't know if we thought we were too hot to trot or whatever on our 5-game win streak or whatever it was, but we simply just got beaten every facet of the game. Simple as that. Offense, defense, and the kicking game, and we didn't give ourselves a chance. And when that happens, you just got to come together and clean it all up. The way we didn't give ourselves a chance just pisses me off, pisses everybody off. So, I mean, we knew it was on the line. I mean, that's been on the line. It'll be on the line next week. So, I mean, we just got to go and get better this week in practice.
All right, Shannon, what did yesterday tell you about the Cowboys?
It didn't tell me anything. I already knew.
Oh, really?
I thought the
Last
Cowboys.
week you were conceding. to
Whoa,
me. I don't know.
no.
Yeah.
I conceded the division.
Oh, okay.
But that's because everybody else in the division was stinking it up. Now, first of all, why do you continue to interrupt me, Skip Bayless?
Just got to get you back on track.
I was on track.
All right, go.
So, okay, I'm reclaiming 15
Yeah.
seconds. Thank you.
Okay.
Skip, I always thought they were being overvalued. Now, are the Cowboys a good team? Yes, but they were putting the Cowboys in the Super Bowl because Jerry was trumpeting he was being a drum major, like he should be, being the owner. Oh, we different cats. Really? Are you a different cat? Now, I just help me understand, Skip. The best running back in football, he's leading the league in rushing.
He was really good yesterday.
The hottest receiver in football over the last 6 weeks.
He was
the
pretty good.
best young quarterback, and you got shut out. Now, on Friday, you was telling me how good is Andrew Luck if he went to Jacksonville and scored 0 points.
That is a good question.
So now maybe
That was just 2 weeks ago. He got shut out in Jacksonville. Jacksonville lost to Josh Johnson yesterday.
Hold
I'm asking you, the Hall of
So
Famer.
how good
I
are the
need to know.
Cowboys that got shut out after winning 5 straight games? How good are the Cowboys? It's my turn. Thank you. What I love this coach.
Did he not ask a question?
Yeah, it was rhetorical.
Oh.
That didn't mean you give a response. But anyway, I love. Did the Colts kind of look like the old Cowboys, the young Cowboys used to look? What they've done instead of Ryan Grigson, who's the former general manager, Skip, he got all these fancy new toys. He wanted to sign Andre Johnson. He wanted to sign Frank Gore.
He did.
He wanted all the, we're going to go up and down the field. He wanted to be the old Indianapolis Colts with Peyton Manning and Marvin and Reggie Wayne and Dallas Clark throwing the ball all over the field. Well, this general manager said, you know what, this is how we're going to do this. Starting at the center going left, first rounder, Alabama, Ryan Kelly. Quentin Rush, now Skip, I know he's a rookie, but he might be the best guard in football. Costanza, left tackle, first rounder. The right, Turner, Braden Smith, excuse me.
Yeah.
Did he pitch a shutout or what? Did DeMarcus Lawrence Taylor, did he play yesterday, Skip? Because he was doing all that whooping.
If only Dak Prescott had that offensive line.
Whoa,
Can you imagine what he could do with that line?
You see?
Seriously. No, really, you're making my case. I like that.
I'm talking now.
Keep going.
I'm talking
More.
now. I'm talking now.
Yeah.
It's my turn.
Yeah. Whew,
Thank
what
you.
an offensive
Thank
line
you.
he's got. Whew.
This is what I've been saying all along. The Cowboys, and they would listen to me, because I say, Coach, we got to get off to a fast start, because what the Cowboys like to do, they like to pitch a shutout in the first quarter. They get the lead, and then they make you play on their terms. They throw when they want to. They run when they want to. The Colts got a 7-0 lead, and so now the Cowboys are trying to play catch-up. Skip, look, and you keep talking about, they lead number one. They're number one in time of possession.
They were.
They still are. But guess what, Skip Bayless? They're 23rd in scoring. So what does that tell you? Possessing the football doesn't win you games. Points win you games.
It wins you games if you cash those points in. Right?
Da. So
Yeah.
let me ask you a question. Would you rather have the ball 45 minutes and score 10 points, or rather have the ball 28 minutes and score 45 points?
Yep.
Thank you. So what the Cowboys, the first half, average drive, 3 drives, average 13 plays. 0 points.
That is spectacular. 13 plays a drive.
What'd it get you?
16, 15.
What'd it get you?
Whew.
What'd it get
Whew.
you?
Is it my turn?
No, it's not your turn.
Thank
it's
you.
like going to Harvard. I went 5 years to Harvard. Did you graduate? So if you're just a student there and you don't get that diploma, what have you done?
It's hard to go to Harvard for 5 years and not graduate.
Yeah, well, it's hard.
They would kick you out.
It's hard to possess
Right?
hard to possess the ball for 39 plays and 3 drives and not get a touchdown. Normally they kick you off. And that's what your team.
They got kicked 23 to nothing.
Hold on, talk about.
You know?
Skip, why you keep doing this?
You asked me. a
I didn't
question.
ask you anything.
Is it my turn?
No, it's not your turn.
Is the show
quite.
over?
No.
Wait, is the show over? Do we have like 2 minutes left in the show? I don't know.
You got plenty of time because your guy Dink and Dak.
Oh.
39 attempts, little better than 200 yards. Again, that's what he's doing. And guess what? He found a new favorite target, Zeke Elliott. Dump it down to him. Let him get 3 yards here. Let him get 4 yards there. Skip Bayless. The Cowboys are who we thought they were. And you were bought in. Woo, look at my Cowboy. How about them? I told you had that same energy. Now, I told you on Friday, say, Skip, that energy that you've been coming in the last 4 weeks like you've been on No Dose and Red Bull. How about them? Where's my camera? Jenny, where's my camera? How about them Cowboys? I ain't heard a word.
Can't stand it.
I ain't heard a word. I love it.
Go ahead. Do it
I
again.
ain't gonna do that. I'm Skip.
You
I'm not-
envy me because you want to be able to do
Skip,
it.
you know
You
what?
can do it. Go ahead. How about them Cowboys?
I don't like being this person. I've said it. I
Yes,
said
you
if the Cowboys lose, if the
yeah.
Patriots lose, I'm not gonna come here and gloat. Because that's not me, Jenny.
It's
I lied. Clearly, I lied.
1,000% you.
No gloating.
It's you from head to toes.
I love it.
My turn.
It is
is your turn.
Skip.
I want to thank you for every word you just uttered. I appreciate all of your Hall of Fame wisdom that you just imparted to the masses, because I hope the masses include my Dallas Cowboys, and they often do watch this show, and I want them to hear what garbage they were yesterday, how they got exposed yesterday, how they can't defend anymore, they can't stop the run, and they can't score, they can't cash in the red zone. I need you to rub their noses in that all week long, building up to a game at home against Tampa that's starting to look like, dare I say, a must-win game. So here's what happened yesterday. The Dallas Cowboys had played 5 straight must-win games at a supremely high level. I think even you would admit that, correct? And suddenly, my Dallas Cowboys found themselves in what you call the catbird seat. I don't know what a catbird is, but they were in that seat.
A favorable position.
It was a highly favorable position because they were 2 games up in the NFC East with 3 games to play. And guess what? They're playing Indianapolis, and I told you last week, they can't get up for Indianapolis because they got no rivalry. They have no history with Indianapolis. And all of a sudden, they were playing a game they really did not need to win. Again, it's a bad sign when you lose a game that badly this late in the year, but they didn't need to win that game because you know and I know they went into yesterday playing a 1 o'clock window game, like a sort of a obscure, distant game up in Indianapolis. They've been playing big night games, right? Big Drew Brees on Thursday night games. And all of a sudden they're playing a game that doesn't really matter, and that's exactly how they came out and played yesterday. They were resting on their Super Bowl laurels because they heard all week last week they're going to the Super Bowl.
Was anybody alive when they last won the Super Bowl?
Well, I'm just saying, did we not talk about Super Bowl all week here? Even you acknowledged, yeah, they got a chance.
No.
You know?
I said they can win a game.
Yeah. Well, you said they got a chance,
Yeah.
and I gave them a chance. I still give them.
Oh,
a
you
shot.
got them going to Atlanta.
Yeah, I just might. But the point is, all of a sudden, they came out and laid the biggest egg you could possibly lay at this point in the season. But
Ostrich egg or a dinosaur egg?
it was a dinosaur egg.
Okay, big one.
Like a Tyrannosaurus Rex, right? Yeah. And the point is that they came out without urgency, without energy, without focus. They were lackadaisical on defense. They were lethargic on defense, and they were ultimately just lost on defense. Because I'm going to remind you, that defense, as I pointed out last week, came in allowing the lowest yards per rush in the whole National Football League. And what happened yesterday?
Return of the Mac.
They got blown off the field with 178 yards rushing. I was way more disappointed in my great defense than my Dak attack offense. Because what did my Dak attack offense do right from the start? What it usually does. It went boom, 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 boom right down the field. Am I right?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. And it reminded me of the Tennessee nightmare because that's how they started against Tennessee. Remember, against Tennessee, they could have scored 3 early touchdowns and they failed to cash. They could have scored 3 early touchdowns yesterday and they failed to cash. So let me count the ways they failed. Can we go to a play that was 3rd and 4 from the 30-yard line in the first Cowboy possession? And I thought Dak Prescott, here's Marlon Mack again. I'm tired of seeing that. Let's stop that. That's
keep it
outlawed. Here's 3rd and 4 from the 30, and Dak throws a really sweet back shoulder fade to Allen Hurns, and he turns the wrong way. That's going to be a catch. That's going to be a touchdown or maybe out of bounds at the 2. The ball is, why did you
It's
turn
out
the
of
wrong way?
bounds.
No, it didn't. It hit the sideline.
It's out of bounds.
Right on the sidelines. This is a really perfect throw to a receiver he rarely throws.
If you don't mind
to.
me asking, Skip, why are you throwing a back shoulder fade when the guy's 2 yards in front of the DB?
Okay, I don't know, but it looked like he aimed for a back shoulder fade, and Allen Hurns turned inside, and you know what the next play was? It was a 48-yard field goal that got blocked and went the wrong direction.
I thought you liked Mar. You told me you like him.
I don't love him. And Brett the Fret, I fret every time I'm knocking on wood right now. So then let's go to the next possession because it's 7-0 Andrew Luck, and he had a nice drive for a touchdown. And all of a sudden it gets to 3rd and 1 from the 3-yard line. There's the blocked field goal, and it's 3rd and 1 from the 3. And what does my man Scott Linehan do? He calls a trick play to a guy who had caught 2 balls all year.
Oh,
Ola Wale. He's caught 2 balls all year.
Oh,
and it hits him right in the Wally. What are you?
Oh, Wale.
Yeah, Ola Wale.
Yeah.
And it hits him right in the hands. I'm saying, what are you using him for?
Why not?
You've got 21. You've got 19.
You
and you're
said-
throwing it to
Hold on,
Ola Wale?
you said-
What are you doing? This is 7-7, and he drops
Hold
it.
on. You said you wanted Scott Linehan to show some imagination, some
but
creativity.
Ola Wale?
Yeah.
And plus, when he's in the game, everybody thinks he's going to do there's some trick coming.
Okay,
right?
but he get
Yeah, right.
So Scott,
what are you going to do?
okay,
Throw
so
it to-
Scott Linehan listened to you.
Yeah.
What he do on 4th down?
Okay, well, then we get to 4th and 1 at the 3, and he goes straight predictability, right? Straight predictability. He just says, let me just hand it right up the gut to Ezekiel Elliott, and I'm down to my backup guards. I'm playing 2 because Xavier Zuafila was gone by then. He got poked in the eye, and I don't know what happened, and he's got an eye
He
injury, and
probably
he's
got
out.
what it said is his eye socket and it swelled up like that. He
I
might
know.
have fractured it.
Well, I don't know.
Really
So
bad.
that's no good. So now down to 2 backup
Now you got
guards.
Connor Williams in that
The backup on the other side I'd never heard of. He's from Harvard. Speaking of Harvard.
Oh!
How can you have a guard from Harvard. I
Yeah,
don't know.
he's
You're
smart.
in
He
trouble.
football
He know
there,
all
too.
the line
Yeah,
calls.
but
He's
usually
smart.
those are skill guys,
True.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that was a problem, and that got stuffed, and it went the other direction. And now we get down to it's still a football game. Next possession. This is 2nd and 9 from the 37-yard line of the Colts. And there's a deep throw to Noah Brown from The Ohio State University, who's pretty good. He doesn't get many balls thrown to him. But tell me this isn't pass interference all the way up the field. He's just getting knocked down. He's getting tackled the whole way. He got ridden for 20 yards. 20 yards. That's pass. It's just blatant. And they're going to get the ball 1st and goal at the 5, and they are going to cash that. And it's still only 7-0.
You just had the ball at the 3 and didn't cash. So what makes you
I'm
think
just
it'll cash
saying,
now?
you got to give us that one
No.
because flags are flying all
No,
over
we
the
didn't.
carpet,
No.
and all of a sudden, no flag flies. And I'm just rolling on the floor. Like, you got to give me one. Just give me one, right?
No, stop begging.
I'm not begging.
That's so unbecoming
but
to you.
You even agree that was pass interference.
That's so unbecoming. A guy that's team has the hottest running back and won 5 straight games. He's laying on the floor begging for penalties. Really, Skip? That should be beneath you for this team.
Yeah. So it's not beneath me yesterday in a game that they didn't really care about. And as Jerry,
Don't do that, Skip. Don't do that.
And Jerry Jones had the guts to come to the postgame locker room, and he told one of the reporters, I didn't want you to think that I snuck my new you-know-what out of
Yep.
town. You know, he said, I'm going to face the music here.
Yeah, what'd he say?
And he made a point that he thought that the luck drive that got a late field goal in the first half from 43 yards by the greatest kicker in the history of kicking, Adam Vinatieri, that was demoralizing to his football team.
3 points.
Yeah, but it felt like 33 points.
Hold on, wait a minute. The man Jerry Jones just can't wait to give a boatload of money. The best running back in football, the hottest receiver in football. And you telling me 3 points is demoralizing? Don't do that, Skip. And I've sat here long enough for the last 10 minutes and watch you blame that defense. Your guy didn't score a point. 0.
My defense got blown off the
Okay,
field.
what about your offense? Did they not possess the ball?
178 yards rushing?
Hold on, Skip.
Marlon Mack?
Hold on.
Seriously?
So let me ask you a question. Would you rather have Marlon Mack or Zeke Elliott? Would you rather have T.Y. Hilton or Amari Cooper?
Now that's a tough call right there because T.Y. is really good.
You sat right across from me last week, and you said you'd rather have Dak Prescott than Andrew Luck.
I
Well,
did.
you had him.
Yep,
And you
I
got
did.
0 points.
By the way, Andrew Luck threw for a grand total of 192 yards. He lit him up, man. He was just bombs away.
Skip.
Andrew Luck, 192 yards. Way to go, Shannon.
Wow,
I'm impressed with Dink and Dunk, Andrew.
Hold on.
Yeah.
He only had 27.
Yeah.
We didn't need him to throw
Oh.
it. Why would we want to throw it and put the ball in harm's way when we running the ball down your throat?
So, by
Stop
the way,
that.
at halftime, the time of possession is almost double Dallas. It's almost 20-10 at halftime.
And the score is double Indy.
38 plays to 19 plays. What? Are you kidding me? And my team has 0.
Oh, yeah.
Yep,
And
way to go.
And what did the Colts have on the point board?
They got 10.
So y'all had double the plays, they had double the points.
Yep.
Which would you rather have, Jenny? That's what I thought.
And that's why it felt like it was 33-0.
Hold on.
It
Why
just
would
did.
it be? Skip, hold on. I'm confused. And it takes a lot to get me confused. Normally, if I'm confused, I don't finish there. But Skip, I ain't even started that. You got Dak Prescott. You got Zeke Elliott. You got Amari Cooper.
Yep.
And you're telling me a 10-0 lead is insurmountable in the first half?
And they had won 5 straight games against high-quality opposition.
Really high quality, huh?
Yep. So here's what
Washington.
my team needs. My team has a guy running the team named Coach Clapp. You know that guy?
Do know that guy.
That guy cannot motivate an empty bag. That's what he is. All he does is smile and clap about everything. And so you cannot expect Jason Garrett to get the Dallas Cowboys up for a game that really doesn't matter to the Dallas Cowboys. Again, Jimmy Johnson, back in the day I covered Jimmy Johnson, he would have lit a huge bonfire under that team for that game because he would have put fear of God in that team. Don't go up here and get embarrassed just because you think that Washington is going to go to Jacksonville with Josh Johnson and lose. What happened? Washington stole that game. And just because Jimmy would have said, you think that without Carson Wentz, the Eagles are going to lose to the Rams. What happened to that game, Shannon? I don't know. Nick Foles, he won again.
What that got to do with you?
He won again. It has everything to do with me because after this game, I'm thinking maybe we're still going to back in. And trust me, my Dallas Cowboys went into this game thinking, Washington's going to lose. Philly's going to lose, and we're going to win the division today.
Hold on, Skip.
Right? That's what happened. That's what happened yesterday. There's no motivation on the part of the coach. He needs external motivation. He needs the fear factor of this team thinking it's going to get embarrassed by the reigning champ Philadelphia Eagles. Those are two of the wins, right?
Yeah.
By Drew Brees on Thursday Night Football, right? By remember what happened at Atlanta last year when they went back to the scene of the crime? You don't think they were scared they're going to get humiliated again by Matt Ryan and company? So that's what was going on. And then obviously the rival Redskins, even though it was Colt McCoy, you know what he had done to them on a Monday night back in 2014. Remember that? So there's fear factor in all those games. We got to take it up a level. We got to play good scared. It's what I call focused scared, where you're afraid you're going to get embarrassed by somebody and you end up embarrassing them. They were not afraid yesterday of anything. They thought they were going to back into the division at worst. At worst. And it did not happen. They now have a 1-game lead.
If you don't mind me asking, what did Jason Garrett do yesterday that was different when they was winning these last 5 games?
Nothing. He just kept clapping.
Exactly.
Yep. And
but
so
now you want to
now
play.
you need a different kind of motivation. You know it, and I know it. Now you got a 2-game lead because he kind of went along for a great ride. He just keeps clapping, and all of a sudden my guys are winning, and we're beating Philly twice. We're beating Drew Brees. We're beating Matt Ryan. We're beating the Redskins, and he just keeps clapping. And what did he do at the end of the game? I nearly puked in my living room at the end of the game.
What?
Coach Clapp walks across the field. He's got the biggest smile on his face, and he's shaking hands with all the Colts. He's the best sport. Look at this guy. Look at him. He's patting
always
everybody.
have a
Come on,
smile.
look at the smile.
Yeah.
He's the happiest man on earth because he's oblivious to what just happened in the game. He's like
can't do
robotic. He's a robot.
You can't do anything about
I don't
that.
think he's real. I think Jerry had him invented. He did. Jerry had him invented, and all he does is clap.
Skip.
Jerry just pushes a button up in his suite, and Jason keeps clapping.
I would love how you try to brush this to the side.
I'm not brushing anything.
You blame Jason Garrett. You talked about the defense and how they let Marlon Mack run the ball. They didn't push any pressure.
Can you believe that the defense that was allowing the lowest yards per carry got blown off the field?
Well,
yesterday?
tell me why an offense that just hung up almost 600 yards could not do anything against measly, terrible Indianapolis Colts defense. Explain that.
Because the Colts needed this game and wanted this game far more than Dallas. Far, far more. And Indy came out playing a playoff game, and Dallas came out on an extended bye. That's what happened yesterday. And now it's back to, here we go. We've got to beat Tampa or we're going to be tied.
You know, the biggest crock that I played a long time, Jenny, played in college and high school. The biggest crock that you'll ever hear, we needed that loss. Well, if you needed a loss, why don't you lose more?
You know what?
That's a good point.
I'm going to give you the biggest crock you've ever heard because the Dallas Cowboys got just what they needed yesterday. They needed to get refocused late in the year with Jameis and company coming. They can be dangerous because they can rise up and beat anybody on any given Sunday. And now you know that Philly is catching fire with Nick Foles. Now you know that Josh Johnson, he looked pretty good at Jacksonville yesterday. Well, I'm going to start.
Jacksonville been done for a long time.
Unfortunately, Blake Bortles wasn't playing yesterday, or that,
in case Cody Kessler's bad.
Yeah.
And I mean, come on, Skip. I mean, which smells worse, cow manure or horse manure?
I don't know.
Because both of those quarterbacks are you know what. So,
Oh, no.
Well, so was my quarterback. So was my defense. So was my offensive line without 2 guys. And by the way, then this was the return of Sean Lee. Am I right?
Yep.
And so I had the jinx factor of Sean Lee trying to get back in the rotation.
And what happened?
It came to this. He played 7 snaps and they lost. What does that tell you?
So now you blaming Sean Lee. After they lost last year without him, you blame Sean Lee. Now he comes back,
How
you blame him.
quickly things change.
Skip, I can't believe you.
Yeah.
I want y'all to hear that, Cowboy.
Yeah.
You hear that, Dak?
Yeah.
He said his quarterback played awful. That's you, Dak.
Yep, I want you to hear that. Garbage,
Yeah.
exposed.
You hear that, Jason Garrett?
Yeah, exposed.
It wasn't
Garbage.
just a tough day for the Cowboys, guys. It was a tough day for Tom Brady.
do we have to
Cost
talk
the
about
Patriots
this?
a win in Pittsburgh
I'm out.
yesterday. You're going to make it through the next one? We'll tell you next.
No mercy.
Well, Tom Brady had not lost to the Steelers since 2011. But that all changed yesterday. In the fourth quarter, down by 4 in the red zone, Brady was picked off by Joe Hayden. Then, with one last chance, to tie it. Brady threw an incompletion in the end zone on 4th down. The Patriots' loss drops them to 9-5, and for the first time since 2009, they will not win 12 games in a season. Let's take a listen to Brady and Big Ben after the game.
It's not about me and beating the Patriots and beating Tom Brady. It's about the Pittsburgh Steelers winning a big football game. That's the only thing that matters to me.
We're going to go out there and compete. And, we just come up a little bit short the last couple weeks. So we just have to do a better job. I mean, it's certainly all of us feel it. It's not any one thing. It's a lot of things collectively. And we've always won as a team and we lose as a team. And, when you lose close games, there's a lot of plays that you wish were different. And, there's just not going to make any excuses. We just got to do a better job.
Okay, Shannon. How much trouble are the Patriots in?
Where's that energy? Where's that fervor that he normally talks with? Last week, they lost the game. Oh, that was one play. Now he's sullen. Now somebody done took his dog. His car won't crank, Jenny. It's been raining all night. They should be very concerned. And let me tell you why they should be concerned. Because the main culprit of their concern should be number 12. Now, everybody, I'm going to go in the word of Kevin Durant. Now, these fanboys media can keep telling you Tom Brady's the same guy. And he's going to play. He's not.
There's only one fanboy in the whole media, and he's sitting across from you. So don't make it pejorative. Just make it.
I don't know
just
why
focus it.
Why are you doing me
just
like
say
this?
me.
Why are you
just say me. It's
why
okay.
are you doing this to me today?
Yeah.
This is my one day. I don't bother anybody. I come out here. I ain't bother nobody. Got me a little something here. Skip Bayless. For the longest time, no matter what transpired, they could be good defensively or they could be bad. They could have a running game or they couldn't. They have guys, receivers in and out. It didn't matter. Number 12 can pull them through. 12 is putting them in harm's way also. But we failed to look at that, Skip. There are some plays, and I've told you this, when you, as a guy that played this game, that started to get earlier, those licks hurt more. And you didn't want to feel those licks. There are some plays that I'm going to show you because I don't like to get footage in. I just like to talk.
True.
But in this situation, I had to show people what I'm talking about.
Okay.
DJ, drop that track for me right quick. I want to show you the GOAT. The guy you said is the GOAT that will step up.
Is the
No, hold on.
Well, he is. It's unquestioned.
Skip, I didn't ask you a question. I said the guy that Skip Bayless said is the GOAT. Look at these throws. Now, he said, look at this. Oh, Skip. If we can go back and see it, he's falling away from these throws. Look at this. Skip, where's the pressure? Where's the pressure on Tom Brady? Now, this is the last play of the game. Look at this. Where's the pressure, Skip? He's falling down and nobody's close to him. You know why? One of the first things to go as you get older is your leg. It's not your shoulder if you're a quarterback. Most other positions require their legs. As a quarterback, you need your legs also.
Yep.
But you see Tom Brady can't drive the ball like he once could. He's flinching. Now, he said on the interception, he was trying to throw the ball out of bounds. So you mean to tell me Tom Brady can't throw the ball out of bounds from 30 yards away? His arm strength, everybody keep telling me his arm is as strong, if not stronger, when he was 30. Bull jive. If you watched that game yesterday, if you think for 1 second Tom Brady's going to play till he's 45, you're foolish. If you think Tom Brady is the same quarterback, can he make throws if nobody's in his... Hell, everybody can make throws if they got a clean pocket. But Tom Brady doesn't want to stare down that gun barrel anymore, Skip Bayless. And there are 2 occasions in which you saw it yesterday. And then there are some occasions there was nobody around, and he's a dying goat. You know, they got them goats, not Jenny. Sometimes they just kick over on you. That's Tom Brady yesterday. You saw it. He's flinching, Skip Bayless. He's not that same guy. At home, now the Pittsburgh Steelers are a dynamic offense. They averaged 34.5 points a game at home, Jenny. They held them to 17. I'll go back 4 games. They were averaging 40. They was averaging 39, slightly less than 40 points a game at home over the last 4. You hold Juju and AB to under 50 yards. Tom Brady give you 10. Now, somebody is going to blame Coach Belichick because some innocuous running back ran for 100 yards. But what about Tom Brady?
142.
For the 3rd time this year, a Tom Brady-led offense has scored 10 or fewer points, which is the most in the Brady-Belichick era. But he's the same guy. That's bull jive. At some point in time, the realization is going to sink in. Now, it sunk in for Coach Belichick because he tried to move on. It also sunk in for Coach Belichick. He said, Robert Kraft, I tried to tell you I wanted to move Gronk. a year early, get that second round pick. Skip, he's not the same guy.
I agree with
he's
that.
He's not the same guy.
You finally made a good point.
But that guy number 12,
Yep.
he's not the same guy. He's flinching.
Really?
He's flinching.
Wow, that guy who threw for 182 in the fourth quarter to outgun Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, see, now it's Patrick Mahomes. What did he do yesterday in the fourth quarter?
Oh, by the way, if I apply these same standards to the GOAT that you say is the GOAT, Aaron Rodgers, should he retire now? Because he's playing at a way worse level than Tom Brady ever thought about playing.
We got him coming up.
We'll
address him.
I'm just asking, because you're calling for Tom Brady to retire, right?
Stay focused.
You want him to retire right now.
Stay focused right here, Tom. We talking about Tom Brady. We'll get there on Rodgers.
Yeah.
I'm going to deal with him a little later.
Okay. So, the Patriots, here's the God's truth about this. The Patriots were in trouble a week ago when after Tom Brady had played his best game of the year in his annual House of Horrors in Miami, his best game of the year.
Okay.
Bill Belichick, the genius, pulled the all-time ungenius move on the last play of the game, and the Miami Miracle occurred. And what looked like and felt like a key win in their season to get them to 10-4 turned into a devastating loss that was going to be very difficult for that team to pick itself up off the floor and go to Pittsburgh.
Oh, that would have got them to 10-3.
Yeah.
That would have got them 10-3. It made them 9-4 after the loss.
Okay, it got to 10-3, right. Okay, so the point is, I told you on Friday when, by the way, you're so down on Tom Brady, you picked him to win this game. How did you do that? You're the Hall of Famer, and you picked Tom Brady. No, I'm not trying to flip it. I'm just saying you were so high on him going into this game that you thought he would have no problem with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, I picked Pittsburgh, and my reason was that when you take an organization that has won so much for so long and you keep rubbing their nose in the fact that Tom Brady just owns you, he's 11-2 against you, at some point, that organization, that football team, that head coach Mike Tomlin, they're going to rise up on pure pride and they're going to play the game of the year. And I thought they played their best game of the year yesterday on both sides of the ball. That was a tour de force by the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that's what it took to beat Tom Brady. And I got to give Pittsburgh plenty of credit for what they did. It's my turn.
I ain't said nothing. I ain't say nothing.
Don't look what Steve told you to say.
I'm looking at my nose. Go ahead. Why are you worried about what I got going on over here?
Okay. Now, let's get to the reasons, the deepest reasons the New England Patriots lost this football game. A Bill Belichick team, a Bill Belichick defense gave up 178 yards rushing on the road. That's after giving up 189 rushing on the road at Miami. But Tom Brady won in spite at Miami. At least he put them in position to win the football game with his best game of the year. But when you give up 178 on the road following 189, you can't win road games that way. You can't win a Super Bowl that way. And by the way, you just dusted us off, swept it under your carpet over there. Pittsburgh is down to its third back, Jalen Samuels, and he goes for 142 yards on 19 carries against the genius Belichick's defense. He catches 2 more balls for 30 yards. That's horrendously bad. Do you realize New England is now 31st in the league, 31st out of 32 teams in yards per rush allowed? You can't win like that. I keep telling you, Bill Belichick has lost his fastball. It's very difficult for any quarterback, even Tom Brady, to overcome that. Bill Belichick's defense is now 29th in the NFL in sacks. It gets no pressure on nobody. And it's just hard to defend that. After a while, you can't win a Super Bowl that way.
If you don't mind me asking, Skip, so what is Coach Belichick supposed to do when his offense led by the GOAT can only get him 10 points?
Let's talk about that offense.
Okay, I'm waiting.
If only Tom Brady had an Antonio Brown, if only he had a Juju, if only he had, dare I say, a James Washington, or how about a Vance McDonald? He has none of those 4. He has none of those guys. Do you realize what went south yesterday?
What went south?
Josh Gordon, whatever his relationship with Tom Brady, it went south. He wasn't even on the field for the final play of the game. Not sure what that was all about. he was thrown 2 balls. He caught one in the first quarter, and he was thrown another one early in the third quarter. So he went pretty much the whole second half with no targets. You told me he runs like he has a piano on his back, and apparently he had 2 pianos on his back at Pittsburgh yesterday because he just couldn't get open. He couldn't get open. He gets 2 targets. Wait, it's my turn. I'm going.
Okay,
I'm going.
go ahead, take your time,
So
take your
you just made the best point you made was Rob Gronkowski, 5 targets, 2 catches for a grand total of 21 yards. He can't run. He can't jump. He moves like a Frankenstein monster. Am I right? He just sort of moves along stiff, and like I watch him run, I say, that's pathetic.
He runs like he's hurting.
Yeah, he shouldn't even be on the football field. I don't know. It's like, just go with wideouts, because there's one wideout who's still fairly dependable, and his name is Julian Edelman. And he had some big catches on some rocket passes. And boy, Tom Brady was throwing some rockets yesterday. I've never seen his arm strength at a higher level than it was yesterday.
Yeah. He got good arm strength, Skip Bayless, when there's nobody around him.
Okay. So, but Julian Edelman had 2 big drops in the first half that really cost them. One on a deep route that just hit him right in the hands, and Hayden got a hand in there, but you just got to catch that ball because it hit you right in the breadbasket. And little James White didn't have much of a game, but he had another big drop. So, let's talk about where it went completely wrong for Tom Brady. He made one careless, critical mistake in the second to last drive. And this came after yet another penalty. And dare I say, let me divert here just for a second. Do you realize a Bill Belichick team had 14 penalties for 104 yards?
The least penalized team in the NFL.
Okay, is that not a poorly coached team for that day? Were their heads not in the game on that day?
A lot of that was pre-snap.
And that's 7 pre-snap penalties. 7 pre-snap penalties. False starts, screw-ups, formations.
Yeah.
That just smacks of you're not ready to play this game. And again, it's hard to get back up off the mat after the Miami Miracle hits you right in the gut, right? Mm-hmm. So in this drive, as in the very last drive, there's a huge holding call on Marcus Cannon, and you've got second down at the 16-yard line, and it pushes them back. So here you go, and Tom Brady, he's backpedaling. He's got a rusher right in his face, and this is highly debatable what's going on because his arm is still so strong. I don't think he was really trying to, as he said, flick this ball away.
No, he's trying to make it get a completion.
I think he threw a jump ball to a guy who can no longer jump. I think he reached back into the past. He went blast from the past, and he was so desperate to get the ball in the end zone. I think he just decided, you know what? It used to work. Maybe there's one last magic moment here. One last try. I'm just going to throw it up for Gronk and hope he can go up and win a jump ball with little Joe Hayden, who, by the way, was the 7th overall pick in the draft and made 2 Pro Bowls, and he's only 29 years of age, so he's still got game.
Yeah,
and Joe Hayden made a great break on the ball, and he made a great leap for the ball, and he snatched it out of midair, and Gronk's just standing flat-footed looking for the football.
I don't know if he was throwing it to Gronk or Edelman, but here's the thing, Skip. This is what I'm trying to figure out. Now, you mentioned, and you keep telling Jenny and I that Tom Brady outgunned Patrick Mahomes. But he outgunned Patrick Mahomes in the fourth quarter without Antonio Brown, without Juju, without James Washington, without a DeAndre Hopkins. You keep telling me that he outgunned Aaron Rodgers, yet he had none of these. But the moment he loses, he needs these.
Kansas City's pass defense isn't Pittsburgh's pass defense, and they were playing at a high level because they can rush the passer.
And Kansas City can't?
No, not like that. They didn't that night. They have come alive lately. But they didn't that night, and they didn't the other night in the fourth quarter. I thought their pass rush just
right,
went away.
Especially in the first half, they did a great job. But Skip, we can't every time when Tom Brady loses, we put blame on the defense. We talk about what he doesn't have because we don't give those guys credit when Tom Brady does what he does. You don't mention Gronk, you don't mention Edelman, you don't mention those things. You make it a head-to-head battle with Patrick Mahomes. What about now? Did he outgun Big Ben?
Nope.
10 points. The third time
this year. Ben had no pressure on him, and Tom had people all over him all game long.
Patrick
and
Mahomes.
Let's talk about the last play of the game, last throw of the game.
Yeah.
Say he's falling away, ducking
yeah.
like ghosts.
Chuck and duck is what we call it.
Yeah. You know what I thought he was doing?
What he was doing?
I thought he was so desperate to try to get somebody open in the end zone because nobody could get open. I saw no open receivers on the last 3 throws of the game.
Look at this.
It wasn't like he missed somebody who was open. You know what he was doing? He was trying to pull off a Patrick Mahomes no-look pass. He was trying to step to the left and throw it to the right and hope that he faked out some safety would bite on it and that maybe Edelman could get a little bit of daylight over to the right side of the goal line. That's what he was trying to do.
You believe that?
Yeah,
I
do.
don't.
Well, I do.
Skip.
You know, I know that's second level thinking, but
No,
that's what I think
no.
he's
That's
doing.
bull jive.
This is the greatest
bull
quarterback
flips.
ever. Nope.
That's where I've come from, Skip. We call that bull flips.
Yeah, well, I call that deep thought.
Skip, he's not the same guy. It's okay.
I think.
Skip. So in other
You
words,
think he should quit tomorrow?
No, Skip, that's neither here nor there.
Oh, okay.
But
I think it's
this
here.
is what I don't understand. Everybody else age except Tom Brady. Even in normal day-to-day life, people age, but not Tom Brady. He plays the most physically demanding game in all professional sports, but not Tom Brady. Stop it. I'm telling you, every time this is what you do, Skip Bayless, I done figured you out. It took me a while because I had to go back and Jenny, did you know that when I first started this show, I not only did I do the show with Skip Bayless, I would go home and rewatch the show in its entirety to try to pick up little things. And so this is how I got proficient at this. What Skip Bayless will try to do, he'll make it a one-on-one battle when Tom Brady plays good. But when he loses, look at Coach Belichick's defense. Let a guy that's a 17th round draft pick go for 100 yards. Gronk is Frankenstein. Julian Edelman had 2 big blocks, had 2 drops.
Yep.
Josh Gordon had a piano on his back.
Yep.
The same guy that had a piano on his back when he caught that touchdown against Kansas City. The same Gronk that played against Green Bay. The same Julian Edelman. Nah, Skip Bayless, I ain't gonna let you do it today.
So
what about these 10 points? Can you tell me about that?
You are so proficient at this that you're about to be down 17 cases
That's
of
okay,
Diet
that's okay,
Mountain
that's
Dew.
okay.
That's proficient. That is extraordinary. That's next level.
You wouldn't give me a chance to win it back against Indy.
So all you do is try to apologize for Bill Belichick, who has lost his fastball, 178 yards rushing, 14 penalties, and a team that comes out and drops 3 big passes. It's hard to overcome that against a team that is playing that high in its building.
What are we going to do about them 10 points?
Wow.
What are we going to do about that?
You know what? I'm going to congratulate the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, now we congratulate the Pittsburgh Steelers.
We can't do anything about it right now, Shannon.
They lost. The Pittsburgh Steelers lost to Case Keenum.
You ever heard of looking ahead?
Oh,
They've had this one circled for about a year.
When have you ever known the Patriots to look ahead to anything?
Well, if you're looking ahead, they host the Bills and the Jets, and they haven't lost at home, so hopefully going back is going to be a good thing for them.
No mercy.
Nick Foles. He was in a familiar role last night, filling in for an injured Carson Wentz. Foles helped keep the Eagles' playoff chances alive with a huge win on the road against the Rams. Jared Goff has been struggling big time, and he threw 2 more interceptions to bring his total to 7 in the last 3 games. LA had a chance to tie it up, but Goff threw an incompletion in the end zone on the final play of the game. The Rams are now 11-3, while the Eagles are 7-7, 1 game behind Dallas. Shannon, was this game more about the Eagles or the Rams?
This is more about the Rams, and I think Sean McVay, look, you're a genius.
Yeah.
You have a head coaching job. You have a great gig. You're one of the great offensive thinkers in all of football, but you're overthinking this. Because, see, you don't get credit for turning around handing the ball off to Todd Gurley, whether you hand it to him or pitch it to him. The run game really doesn't take a whole lot of ingenuity to get it going. If you look at Todd Gurley, when he gets 15 or more carries, they're 10-0. When he gets fewer than that, they're 1-3. And what we've seen the last 2 weeks is Todd Gurley not getting his touches. Yeah, they're throwing it to him. And yeah, you try to get him touches as many ways you can. But in order for this Rams offense, and when we looked at it early in the year, when it looked unstoppable, Todd Gurley was running the football efficiently and effectively. Now, all of a sudden, for some reason, they want to put the ball in Jared Goff's hand, and they want him to throw for like 1,000,000 yards. You know, on that play we saw, Skip, when he got stepped on, and it happens. Fletcher Cox lined up in the gap. The center knows he has to reach him, so he takes a big step. He steps on his foot. And I know it's 3rd down. But in a situation like that, Coach used to always tell us, son, don't make a situation worse.
Just eat it.
Just eat it.
Yeah.
We're going to punt the football. We'll be okay. What does he do? He makes a bad situation worse.
He did.
Scoops it up, throws the guy, and the guy picks it. The thing is that the Rams, in order for them, they need, and you look at their defense, and I thought their defense underachieved all year, Skip.
Yeah.
Because the way they're built, This offense is really good. They're built to play with a lead. So now these guys fly off the rock. Now, yesterday, they didn't run the ball for a ton of yards, Skip, but they ran the ball enough. And so now Smallwood is getting chunk plays. They get the ball into the red zone, Smallwood 2 plays, he's in the end zone. Standing up, I'm like, hold on. Now they stand up running into the end zone from 5-6 yards away. At least they normally drag guys in the end zone. He's walking in the end zone standing up. Look, you make your point about whatever you're going to try to talk about my guy walking to him. But he was there on the sideline cheering Nick Foles on, letting him know what he needed to do. Hey, you see that safety on the backside? He trying to cheat the play. Do this right here.
Oh,
now,
yeah, Nick Foles really needs
stop,
that.
Skip, it's my turn to talk, Skip Bayless.
Yeah.
But look, Sean, you're going to mess right around and lose that second seed because the Bears are 1 game behind you, and they just beat you last week. So if you lose another game and they win, guess what? You go to the 3rd seed, they go to the 2 seed. Now, it's not like you have a whole lot of home field advantage because Philly had I didn't know Philly had this kind of following, Skip, until I watched and I see all the people
They
cheering.
took half over the stadium.
That was
Philly.
impressive.
Yeah.
But still, even that it may, Skip, you don't really be wanting to play playoff games. Now, you're happy to get in the playoffs, but if you have a chance to secure home field, you try to do that. You try to play as many games as you possibly can in your building before you actually have to go on the road. So I thought this was more about the Rams. They guess a lot. You look at Aqib Talib, he tries to undercut the dagger. Alshon keeps a high completion. Now you see a 2-by-1, Skip. The safety's trying to get slick. He's like, you trying to get me to clear. I'm going to jump the in between. Now they throw the ball over your head. If you play your technique, let's see what happens. But this is all about the Rams. I'm not taking anything away from Philly, but this was all about the Rams and their inability to get Todd Gurley running the football.
So you managed to just speak for 12 straight minutes on this show.
It wasn't on 12.
Yeah, it wasn't. I was timing it. 12 straight minutes,
12 minutes.
and you barely mentioned Nick Foles, and you gave him 0 credit for what happened last night, which to me was mostly about Nick Foles. I'm going to say this again. The Eagles' offense just looks different to me when Nick Foles is running it. If you want to do the 2 quarterbacks in vacuums, obviously Carson Wentz is at least as big, he's much stronger, and he has a stronger arm than Nick Foles. But every time I watch Nick Foles operate the Eagles' offense, it just looks better to me. Nick Foles is better at playing the position of quarterback than Carson Wentz is at this stage of his development. Nick Foles is a better speed reader. He has better savvy. He has more experience. He has better touch, and he definitely has better consistent accuracy than Carson, W-I-N-C-E, does. Because when I watch him, he makes me wince.
I'll give you that.
Okay.
I'll give you that. Foles is a little bit more accurate than Carson.
Okay, so somehow this offense comes alive with Nick Foles at quarterback because he's not codependent on Zach Ertz. He doesn't lock in throw after throw to number 86. He spreads the ball better than Carson does. And Zach Ertz is really, really good. But last night, all of a sudden, who's the game breaker? The guy who gets ignored to a fault by Carson Wentz is Alshon. Alshon's a game breaker. So Nick Foles targeted him 8 times, and he caught 8 balls for 160 yards last night. That's what broke that game open. Zach Ertz's paper cuts, it's 8 yards, it's 10 yards, it's 12 yards, and he can get open in the red zone. I give you all that. And Nick Foles made only one mistake when he tried to jam it in at the goal line to Zach Ertz, and Talib just sniffed it out. Came off his man and snaked it.
And that's the thing. See,
Okay?
he was guessing.
Okay, he was guessing, and he guessed great, and he made a great play on the ball because he took it right out of the throw. Hit Wentz right in the hands, and he just snatched it right out of his hands.
But that's the difference, Skip.
Okay.
Nick Foles' favorite target is Alshon Jeffries.
Yeah.
Alshon.
Yeah.
Walking to him's favorite target is Zach Ertz.
No doubt.
If you saw it in the Super Bowl, you saw it in the playoffs last year, you saw the big plays that Alshon was making. But Skip, look at the run game. They went for 100 yards, and granted it was 30 carries, but when walking to him, when it gets 100 yards rushing, they're 5-1. 5-1.
Well, I'm just saying, all of a sudden, they're going to catch new fire here late. Is it enough fire for them to get home? Well, if my Cowboys keep playing the way they did yesterday, yeah, the Eagles still catch
You know what, Skip?
You should be rooting for Nick Foles.
You know what, Skip?
You got one shot to get your cases back.
Nick Foles had a 67 QBR yesterday. 67. Walking to him, average for the season is 65. So how much better has he actually played? I mean, if Jared Goff is going to do what he's doing, Skip, keep turning the ball over, keep putting it in harm's way, they're going to look bad. It's going to make the Eagles look a lot better. Because remember now, they just gave up 600 yards almost to the Cowboys.
So what was Carson Wentz's record this year as a starter? I forget.
There's a
sub 500. Nick Foles comes back and he wins a big game on Sunday night on the road.
I believe there's a reason that they brought Walker to him back a little early because how was Foles looking before they brought him back?
That's a good point.
It's very possible they still would have taken off with him because they were having their Super Bowl hangover on defense. And last night, the defense finally started to look like that
What
defense.
about the Rams defense?
Yeah.
No
Thank
sack.
you. Thank you for bringing this up because now I got to swing over to the Rams. I have told you repeatedly on this show, I'm not buying the Rams. Last week, you're talking about, can Dallas win a playoff game on the road? And you said, well, they can't win at the Rams or at New Orleans. And I said, time out. They could win at the Rams. I'm not so sure about that New Orleans thing, even though they did beat them 13-10.
They might not win in Chicago either.
Okay, well, you could be right about that. But again, I would give the Dallas Cowboys a shot to win at the Rams because there's no there. I keep waiting. I keep saying, what are they? I see a lot of sis boom ba, and I see smoke, and I see mirrors, and I see a defense that is 20th in points allowed. Aaron Donald dominates, but they're 20th in points allowed. You can't win like that.
And that's what's so disappointing, Skip, because if you look at Khalil Mack and the impact that he's had in Chicago, you look at Akeem Hicks, you look at Eddie Jackson, you look at all these guys, you look at Fuller. Aaron Donald is equally, if not more dominant.
You would think so.
But I don't see
he's not off the edge. Maybe it matters coming off the edge.
Yeah, but he's inside, so he's closer to the quarterback. 17 sacks. But I don't see Ndamukong Suh numbers pick up. I don't see Brockers.
Okay.
I don't see the guys getting.
All right, I don't either. And by the way, I just told you, New England is 31st in the league in yards per rush allowed. This team is 30th in yards per rush allowed. 30th. You can't win Super Bowls like that. I don't think you can win a playoff game like that, which brings me back to this young quarterback. I like him. I don't love him. So they have now gone 3-3 in their last 6. And over those 6 games, Jared Goff has 16 total turnovers, 13 interceptions, and 3 fumbles lost.
That'll get you beat.
It will. It's just not good enough. It's not that you're not that team.
No.
You're not Hollywood.
Skip, no team has ever been that good to overcome those amount of turnovers in that time frame.
I mean, if you have the 85 Bears defense, maybe you can, but they're not.
No.
And you love Wade Phillips, and I really love Wade Phillips. And you played, not for him, but he was your
he was my head coach. He
was your head coach. I forgot about that.
93 and 94.
Okay, so the point is, I love him and I root for him, and I don't see the results. And obviously they didn't have Talib for a long stretch, and now he's back. Maybe that'll help re-solidify, but I don't see it. And Philly, I look up and all of a sudden it's 30-13, and I'm saying, where are you, defense?
And even Skip those 80, and those, I mean, people need to go back and look for 84, 85, and 86 Bears and look at those defenses, because actually the 86 Bears defense was better than the 85.
I agree.
But they didn't turn the ball over. They ran the ball with sweetness, Skip.
They did.
And Jim McMahon, hit the one big play. He hit Dennis McKinnon, or he hit Willie
He would
Gault.
make a couple of plays again.
And that's all they needed.
Yep.
Because you were not going to score 30 points on that defense. You'd be lucky if you got 15, 16.
Lucky. Ask Eric Dickerson, ask our man ED what happened when he went there.
Oh, ask the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Wow.
I mean, they were lights out. But Skip, when you turn the ball over like Jared Goff is turning over, it's hard to overcome it, because what happens is that not only does the opposing team might get a field goal, they might score, and then the defense comes on the field, they get a stop, and Jared Goff puts them right back on the field because he's turned the ball over. They're not that good to overcome nobody, even the Patriots. Even the Saints.
Yep.
You can't overcome those amount of turnovers from that position.
So they got at Arizona and San Francisco left. Could they stumble in one of those games? I don't know. The way they're playing right now, they could.
San Francisco's not going to be no
I
easy
don't
out.
think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. Well, those flaws are starting to show up. But what about Dak Prescott?
Yep, here
what
we go.
What letter grade are these two going to give him for his performance? I have a feeling they might be different. Find out next.
No mercy.
Speaking of those Cowboys, they would probably like to forget about yesterday. They were shut out by the Colts, and Dak Prescott failed to throw a touchdown pass even though the Cowboys had a number of chances in the red zone. Dak was also sacked 3 times and threw an interception in the loss. So, Shannon, what grade would you give Dak for his performance?
Even if I'm grading on a curve, Skip Bayless, which I'm not. I mean, because, like you always tell me, you got to hold these guys to the highest of standards. That's what you tell me. That's what the Hall of Fame, you're in the Hall of Fame, right? They haven't revoked your pass because, you owe me 17 Ks of due. So they might have revoked it by now.
Have they? I'm
wondering.
okay,
yeah.
Let's hope not.
Yeah.
F!
As in flunked?
Failure to launch. Yes, and if you give him anything other than that, I'm going to be very disappointed in you, Mr. Bayless. First of all, 206 yards on 39 attempts. That's 5.3 yards attempt. Skip, that's the second worst of the season, and that's saying something. So you mean to tell me he has a game worse than this, what we had yesterday? Excuse me. Held on to the ball too long. Now, Skip Bayless, someone forwarded me a tweet that Skip Bayless tweeted.
Somebody's sneaking around my...
Yeah,
I don't know why you're talking. I don't know why.
Creeping.
I don't know why you're talking.
Who has time?
But someone forwarded me a tweet
that
Skip Bayless tweeted yesterday. It said about Dak Prescott need to scan the field quicker. He's holding on to the ball too long. Either he needs to run or throw it away. Throw the ball away, the very thing that he criticizes Aaron Rodgers for. But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about that.
Do you want me to respond to
No,
that?
I do not want you to respond. He did not complete, Skip, he was 1 for 7 on throws 15 or more yards down the field. But I'm not surprised by that because he's only completing 38% of those throws on the season, which would rank him 28th. This was an opportunity for Dak to show he could lead a team from behind. It's easy to play in the front, Skip, you know what I'm saying? From the front. This was his opportunity. Go on the road, hostile environment. They have something just like you do. They trying to get into the playoffs.
They need this game. You don't.
You do too. And guess what happened?
We didn't need it at all. We're still a game up.
Just like you got on that winning streak, you won 1, it turned into 5. You can lose 1, then turn into 3.
Good point.
And then what?
Keep talking.
Yeah.
Let them hear you.
I'm talking to you.
You guys hear what the Hall of Famer just said.
Skip Bayless. I stayed up all night, couldn't sleep. Drinking coffee. First cup of coffee in 50 years.
I was going to say, I didn't think you drank
I
coffee.
didn't, but I stayed up all night preparing for this.
Really?
Yeah, they say Voltaire drank 50 cups a day. I don't know how he did. He never slept. He drank that many coffee. But anyway, Skip Bayless, F.
And as usual, I'm going to give you an F for giving him an F.
What you gonna give him?
I saw a very different football game. I don't know. I got to get a new TV. I got to get it adjusted.
Okay,
I'm still watching a black and white TV.
What'd you give him?
I gave him a B.
Come on, Skip.
0 points? 0?
0 points.
I gave him a B.
And a pick. And 3 sacks.
And by the way, speaking of F, I'm just glad my Dallas Cowboys are back on Fox next Sunday against Tampa Bay because they'll get.
They were on Fox last week.
Not this one. Not yesterday.
Why were they on Fox?
Yeah, they were.
Oh, they were. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was thinking they were on CBS yesterday, but they're on Fox. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is a big one. This is big. This is big.
Troy and them not calling this game. You don't get Troy and Joe Buck for that.
Why not?
With Tampa?
This is to win the division.
Hold on. You would have thought they would have had Troy and Joy. You had the Cowboys and Andrew Luck, but you want Jameis Winston in Tampa.
So, let's talk about 0 points.
Okay, 0.
I'm going to walk you back through this.
Okay.
Dak Prescott was extraordinary in the first half, and I keep telling you, the Dak attack, number 1 in time of possession in the National Football League, was added again yesterday. Opening drive, 10 plays. Next drive, 15 plays. Next drive, 14 plays. It's hard to drive the ball that far on the road against a defense that has really caught fire the last 5 games in Indy. So I'm giving him a B because all that mattered was they didn't get the break to cash. But what happened on the first one? I'm going to show you again. He throws a back shoulder fade. It's 3rd and 4 from the 30, and I thought it was highly catchable, and Allen Hurns turns inside. That's a throw that he cashed that Allen Hurns didn't. I like this throw.
But Skip,
perfect.
But you're saying under the assumption
he looks the wrong way.
But you're saying under the assumption that Dak was right by throwing it to his back shoulder. Allen Hurns had 2 steps. Why didn't he just throw it over the top?
I thought he threw it outside where he could just turn outside and catch it. They're on the wrong page. They're on different pages.
So why are you blaming
that
Alan
was
Hearns?
A sweet throw.
Why are you
I don't
blaming?
know.
But you're blaming Alan Hearns.
Well, he's Alan Hearns. That's why.
Oh my goodness! You know what? You need to stop, Skip.
Yeah. So what happens after that? They're going to get points anyway. They got a 48-yard field goal, and what happens? It gets blocked. So are you docking him for that? Is that Dak's fault? No. So right away, Andrew Luck goes and scores. That's fine. I told you my defense just did not show up yesterday. They just rolled their helmets out on the field because they weren't into this game. So here he comes again with 15 plays, and it comes down to 3rd and 1 from the 3. And again, to Dak's credit, it's Olawale, but he throws a touchdown pass. He hits number 49 right in the hand. Is it not a touchdown pass? So there's 10 points that should have been scored by Dak Prescott. He got them in position to score 10 points that got negated by a blocked field goal and a flat-out short-arm drop. It's like he closed his hands before the football got there. Am I right?
I didn't see that.
Okay, that's 10 points right there. So then we go to this one. We go to the 3rd drive. This is a 14-play drive, and it comes down. This is 2nd and 9 from the 30, the Indy 37. And Noah Brown is fighting up the sidelines for a really sweet throw. It's going to hit him right in the hands. And the DB, the kid's name? Quentin Wilson, he is all over him. He's riding him like a mule all the way up the sideline.
Yeah.
Just riding him, holding, grabbing, pushing. He's doing everything he can. And just because it's 85 Noah Brown,
just like you told me earlier, it was Alan Hearns.
Okay, and the refs are going, I don't know who you are.
Right.
If it's 19, maybe I'm going to throw the flag because it's Amari Cooper, the hottest receiver in the NFL. But it's Noah Brown. I love Noah Brown.
And you say you don't have an arc. If you'd had an arc, I'd throw a flag like other Noah.
Well, like whatever. Yeah, he doesn't have an arc. That's probably true. Maybe Dak didn't have enough of an arc on the throw. I don't know.
But you still go give him a B.
Okay, now let me finish. That's pass interference. That's 1st and goal at the 5, and I think we're going to cash 7 more points.
Oh, my goodness.
I just detailed for you 17 first-half points that would have won this game. I believe they could have made that stand up, but they cashed none. Was it Dak's fault? He played an extraordinary first half because the time of possession is almost 20 minutes to 10 minutes. Whose fault is that, or who gets credit for that? That's Dak's credit. That's what he does. He drives the football.
Skip, look at it, if you don't mind me asking, what's the difference between a 15-play drive that net 0 points and a 3-and-out? Nothing!
Well, the play that cashes.
They didn't cash. They scored 0.
I just showed you he threw a touchdown pass and
he did not.
Yes, he did.
Oh, Skip, we don't do that.
Did he not throw it where it was supposed to be? Was it not a perfect throw?
Skip.
Was it not a perfect throw? I'm not going to give him any less than a B.
What you and I do here, we don't do the hypotheticals and what coulda, woulda, shoulda been.
Okay.
The fact of the matter is your team scored 0 points and your quarterback had an interception and you give him a passing grade.
Yeah, I give him a B because that's a really extraordinary first half.
How?
Yeah,
What's so extraordinary about scoring no points? I can do that.
So now I'm going to criticize the way you said I criticized in that tweet. The tweet came right after the following play after Noah Brown didn't get the flag up the sideline.
Okay.
So now it's 3rd and 3rd and 9 from the 37.
Right.
And Dak drops back and he holds the ball as he is wont to do, and he holds the ball some more and he holds it a little more. And I'm saying, just throw it. Just either or run because he can really run. Did he run any yesterday? He ran 0 yesterday.
Okay.
He ran 0.
Okay.
So again, they're more effective when he takes off occasionally and just gashes the defense because he's 240 pounds and he can move.
So even though he held the ball too long, which you admit, you still give him a passing grade.
As I tweeted yesterday, this is his Achilles feel, not Achilles heel. His Achilles feel is he holds the ball too long on big 3rd and 9s because he's waiting for somebody to come open who did not come open.
Okay.
So he's not a big interception thrower, but he's a big sack taker because he just takes the sack.
Didn't he throw an interception yesterday?
Yeah, but it wasn't his fault. He just went off Blake Jarwin's hands.
He overthrew him.
He did not.
Okay, let me ask you a
Lanced
question.
off his hands.
What about last week?
Yeah.
Did he throw interceptions last week? But
I
those
don't
weren't his
remember
part
the
either.
game. Which game?
You do remember the game, the Eagles.
Oh, yeah, he did. And then
But I thought he didn't throw interceptions.
Well, wait a second. And then in the 4th quarter and overtime, he threw for 243 yards on 17
He should have saved some of them points for Indy.
243 yards and 3 touchdowns and no interceptions?
Okay.
So he put his team in position to be leading at halftime.
Time out, Skip Bayless. Hold up. What'd you say now?
Should they have been leading at halftime off what I just showed you?
No.
Yes.
If you don't mind me.
Yes.
I need you to repeat that stat again. You said in the 3rd quarter in overtime, Fourth quarter in overtime, he threw for how many yards?
243.
243 and 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
And in 4 quarters yesterday, he had 0 and 206.
I just showed you he had 17 points that he put them in position to have yesterday that they did not have at halftime.
Let this sink in. You just heap praise on a man that threw for 243 yards in fourth quarter and overtime.
Yep.
And yesterday he had 206 yards passing, an interception, and no points. And you give him a passing grade.
Yeah. Now let this sink in. Indy's defense might be the hottest in football right now, very quietly. And by the way, that Darius Leonard, that kid from South Carolina State.
Yeah, he's a bulldog.
Who is he?
Yeah.
Is he?
And you see them, he was the wolf hunter. You see them howling yesterday?
He was howling. He was howling. They were rubbing it in. And fortunately for them, they don't have to see Dallas again unless they both make it to the Super Bowl.
You don't want to see him again. Hold on, Skip Bayless.
I'd love to play these guys in the Super Bowl.
Do you remember the Rumble in the Jungle?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Oh,
Did you go? Okay.
No.
They asked George Foreman, do you want a rematch? They asked him years later, why did you fight Ali again? He said, for what? That man kicked my butt. You actually think Dallas want to see them again after that whitewashing they got?
You better believe it. On a neutral field, this team will prevail.
Now we want neutral field.
So in the second half, the time of possession flips around so hard that Andrew Luck and company wind up winning time of possession. So how much did Dak have the football in the second half? Almost none. It was like 20-10 in the second half.
He had the football all the first half and didn't do jack with it.
Didn't do jack? I just showed you lots of jack.
I don't see no points.
Yeah. I just showed you 17 points.
I don't see no points, Skip.
Yeah, well.
So what you want? Hold on. I thought in the game of football
that was a B performance. I liked the way he played yesterday. I did not like the way the defense. I'm going to give the defense a D-, but I'll give Dak a B.
Do you guys know the last time the Cowboys were shut out? 2003.
You
know who it was against? Tom Brady. Well, 2003 Tom Brady looks a lot different than 2018 Tom Brady. So let's give him a grade next. Let's see what Skip and Shannon have to say.
Yep.
Next.
No mercy.
Tom Brady had not lost to the Steelers since 2011, but that changed yesterday. In the fourth quarter, down by 4, Brady made a horrible attempt to throw the ball out of bounds, was picked off by Joe Hayden. Then on the next drive, he had a chance to tie it up, but he couldn't connect with Julian Edelman in the end zone. The loss dropped New England to 9-5. So Shannon, Dak got an F. What grade for Tom Brady?
What?
Come on, impress me.
Oh, okay.
Give me some objectivity.
Now, okay, here's the thing now. This is the GOAT. So now Skip Bayless told me that when we grade GOATs, LeBron and all these other GOATs.
Well, there's.
Hold on, Skip.
Misspoke.
Skip.
He's not the GOAT. If we're grading Michael Jordan, we'd have another.
Okay.
If we grade these GOATs, we got to hold them to the highest standard.
Okay.
So I'm holding Tom Brady to the highest standard. By all metrics, he get an F.
Wow.
By all metrics. Now, here's the thing. Now, he gave up, Tom Brady only scored 10 points against a defense that had been allowing 27 over their last 3 games. Lost to Denver, lost to the Oakland Raiders. Now, Tom Brady, the GOAT, only got 10. Now, he scored a touchdown on his opening drive, and everybody like, yep, told you. But that touchdown came on Skip. Chris Hogan, blown. Would you say that was a blown coverage?
Yep.
Okay, blown coverage. Over the final 8 drives, he had 3 points. Now, there's a reoccurring theme here, Jen. I don't know if you noticed last week, you heard me say, over Tom Brady's last 6 drives against the Dolphins, he scored 6 points. I don't know what you want me to do, Skip. A horrible interception in the red zone that took points off the board. Inaccurate. Flinching in the pocket. You saw it.
I didn't see
You
it.
had LASIK. Might need to get it again. You know what? I
got 20/10 vision.
Yeah. But your TV is 30 feet away, so it don't do you no good. But anyway, Skip Bayless, I know what I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you one of these old new high def.
Yeah.
One of them old Sony 4K,
Yeah.
OLED.
Yeah.
Ooh, that thing sharp.
That's a good
I'll
idea
take
for
one, too.
Christmas.
Yeah.
I'll
Because
take
I
that
don't mean
right
nothing.
now.
You know what, Skip?
Yeah.
You see this? I was supposed to wear this on Christmas Eve.
Really?
Yeah.
But I knew something. I broke it out early, Jenny.
Yeah.
Now I don't have nothing to wear on Christmas Eve.
Why did you break it out early?
God, it was a special day. Andrew Luck did me a solid.
Special.
Really?
So did old Big Ben. So I had to dress up.
Are the Cowboys going to lose the NFC?
I don't know. We ain't talking about that.
Okay.
Tom Brady gets an F. You know he deserves an F because you saw that performance. Pathetic. 10 measly points against the Pittsburgh Steelers. 10 That's what he got. A horrible interception, flinching in the pocket. So Tom Brady, if he's the GOAT, he's held to the highest standard. Skip, this is advanced calculus. This is advanced play. Everybody can't get in my class. Do you know how many people sign up and I turn them away? I take less than 2 people a year in my classes. Tom Brady in the class, he failing. So he might want to get out of it.
Really?
Yeah, he might want to get up out of here.
Well, Jenny, you're going to have to give me an F because I am flabbergasted that you just gave Tom Brady an
What you
F.
getting?
I'm giving him a B.
We got
Here we
the
go
same
again.
grades.
Yep, I'm giving him a B because I thought he played very well yesterday against
How?
a defense that was sky high to get revenge finally on a Tom Brady who was 11-2 against Pittsburgh.
A defense that couldn't get revenge on Carr, on Derek Carr. What about Case Keenum? Could they get revenge on him?
Looking ahead. This was it. They all circled it in training camp. This time, that's not going to happen to this team. So Tom Brady goes 25 of 36 for 279. That's pretty good. It was more than Ben Roethlisberger.
What about that
Ben
blown
Roethlisberger
coverage?
threw for 235.
What about that blown coverage?
Interesting.
Blown coverage.
Well, he hit him right in stride. I don't know. I give him high marks for executing. Did you see the ball handling on that? It's a really complex play because you got all kinds of fakes and reverse fakes. Did you see it? Did you see it?
I can't even believe you did that, Skip.
Well, I'm doing it.
You
because
could have
it's
threw
really
that
good.
one.
No, I couldn't have done
Yes,
the
you
ball
could've.
fakes. I couldn't have done.
No, but you could have
it's
threw
a
that
very
completion.
complex play.
What about the completion?
Yeah, I could throw that completion.
Okay, thank you.
Agree.
So what you gonna give him?
Okay, so do you realize Tom Brady had to overcome 14 penalties for 104 yards, 7 pre-snap penalties? Are those Brady's fault? I just don't think so. 3 drops, 2 by his the only favorite receiver he's got left, 2 by Julian Edelman. He threw 2 balls to Josh Gordon, who I thought was going to be his saving grace this year. I thought he finally had a wideout who could get deep and get open in the mid-range, and he just can't. He had 1 catch for 19 yards in the first quarter and 1 other target early in the third quarter. And help me out, what happened to him down the stretch, the whole rest of the way in the third quarter and all of the fourth quarter? He disappeared. Because I guess he does run, as you said, with a piano on his back. And you admitted to me as we opened the show, Rob Gronkowski is sad. It's hard to, he's a pathetic watch now. He can't run. He can't jump. He looks like a Frankenstein monster to me. And Brady has to keep going back to a well that used to be full and is now completely dry. It's a dry well. You know it, and I know it. Am I right about that?
You're right. You're absolutely right about Rob Gronkowski. But I want to know one thing. We ask all these other quarterbacks, be it penalties or defense not playing well, to overcome that. Why can't we ask Tom Brady to overcome it if he's the GOAT?
So he did overcome 178 yards rushing that Pittsburgh had.
No, he didn't. They lost.
Yeah, but he put them in position to have shots to the end zone to win the game.
Well, he also took them out of position
and by the way,
throwing that pick.
you realize that last drive, do you realize what it was? And I'm sure most people, you were just sitting at home thinking, he's going to do it again.
No,
He's going to do it again. He's going to do it again.
I never thought that.
You did too.
No, because I seen him flinching early.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
So he took the New England Patriots from 1st and 10 at their 25 all the way down to 2nd and 5 at the Pittsburgh 11. That's quite a drive. That's a lot of big completions with a lot of mustard on those passes. A couple of them to Edelman were like, whoa, those are rifle shots.
If you don't mind me asking, let's just say for the sake of argument, I'm gonna drive cross country. So I'm gonna get in my car from California, LA, and I'm gonna drive to Georgia. But in the process, I blow an engine and have a flat tire, and I never make it there. What have I accomplished? So what? He drove his team from the 25 down to the 11. Did he get them into the end zone? Did they win the game?
Did you see one open receiver on the last 3 throws of the game? Because I went back this morning and looked carefully at them, and I saw nobody open.
I saw
Steelers hanging all over Patriots, like just suffocating in the end zone. Nobody can get open because he doesn't have an Antonio Brown. He doesn't have a Juju or James Washington or even.
Remember, Skip, he didn't have them when he outgunned Pat Mahomes.
Well,
he didn't have them.
Yeah, but he was playing the Kansas City defense. Yeah,
he didn't have them.
It was Kansas City.
Oh, but I saw Chuck and Duck.
Yeah.
Ooh, well, no, they hitting out here. They hitting out here today.
Yeah. Interesting. So, in the end, let's go to that last crucial, the second to last series when he did throw the interception. This was his first interception he's thrown in the red zone in 180 attempts. This is 2 years since he threw a red zone interception, and I still don't believe he was really trying to throw the football out of bounds.
What?
I think he
Tom
was
Brady
so
possibly
desperate
lied?
for somebody to get open. He thought, I got Gronk on the backside. I got him on Hayden. Maybe if I throw it up high enough, we can have one blast from the past, one last magic
One
moment.
last hoorah.
Gronk can go up. Remember the last play of the Super Bowl last year? What did he try to do? He threw the perfect Hail Mary to Gronk, and Gronk is like got cement shoes.
Oh,
he
my
can't
goodness.
even get off the
Yeah,
ground.
why would you do that?
You remember that play? It was a beautiful throw. It hit him right in the hands. And like 7 Eagles go up high.
And Gronk said, had you not fumbled the ball, we wouldn't need a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
That's what Gronk said.
Yeah, Gronk was saying, man, you threw for 505 yards. That's the all-time playoff record in any game. And you threw me a perfect ball, and I'm sorry, Tom, I couldn't get off the
what's
ground.
Bayless? Now, I remember.
Wow.
I heard you say it. When Tony Romo threw for 507, 5 touchdowns, but it was his one costly pick. You killed it. You ripped Tony Romo.
Please don't put Tony Romo and Tom Brady in the same
No,
sentence.
Skip.
Please.
No.
Please don't.
All I'm saying is that I need you to have that same energy.
Tony
with
Romo he never even played in an NFC championship game. You realize that?
You should have left the Cowboys when he was the quarterback, but you stayed on. Yeah. So you're there now. But we're not talking about them. We're talking about why you keep giving these quarterbacks B's when they're
I thought he played pretty well yesterday. So he makes one desperate throw to Gronk, and Joe Hayden, I don't know how tall Joe is he 5'11" or 6 feet?
Look that big.
He just skies up over Gronk and snatches it. Well, but he got there, and he snatched it.
He hung up in
and
there.
it was beautiful. It
Like
was beautiful
LeBron.
to watch. And again, he was the 7th overall pick and has made 2 Pro Bowls, and he's 29 years of age.
But he's far removed from those Pro Bowls. He got released from the Browns. Now he's healthy again, and he's playing well. But this is not about Joe Hayden.
Yeah.
This is about Tom Brady.
Yep.
This is about Tom Brady. In his final 8 drives, he scored 3 points after opening the drive with a 63-yard touchdown to Chris Hogan after the Steelers blew coverage.
Yep.
And against the Miami Dolphins the week before, his final 6 drives, he scored 6 points. But somehow you find a way to...
Against the Dolphins, he threw for 369 and drove them for what should have been the clinching touchdown, and Belichick went run down at the goal line and took a field goal.
Well,
and then the Miami miracle happened.
Matt Ryan
Way
says,
to go.
hold on. I had a 25-3 lead. What should have been able to stand up in the Super Bowl, but it didn't. So, Tom Brady, you get no praise. What should have stood up? You didn't. Now, we're not talking about the Dolphins. We're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers.
We are. And you know what? I'm going to amend this question to what grade would I give Bill Belichick for this game?
Oh, my goodness.
F. Flunk. He's the GOAT. He's the genius. He's, according to the Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe, he is the greatest coach ever, which is the biggest bunch of baloney.
No,
I've
he's
ever
not.
heard.
Stop saying
and
that.
he deserves an F for yesterday because that's a failure to launch.
What about your quarterback?
Yeah. I like
10
the way
points.
the quarterback played.
They've been together for 19 seasons.
Yeah. And this may be the swan
the
song
most.
for the coach.
You won't bet me.
Yeah.
I am glad you guys are not teachers because I feel like we've got
Ken
some
Little
favorites
points.
around here.
Yeah, he got his favorite. He
So
got his
do
favorite.
you.
No. I got an advanced class. You have to get selected to come in my class.
Well, somebody was cum laude at Vanderbilt, and he doesn't know anything about grades.
Who?
I don't know.
Thank you
I
for
don't
the
know.
reminder.
I was thank you, Lord, at
I
Savannah
was
State.
definitely not.
Yeah.
But here we are now. So anyways, what
You know
about the
what's- you gotta be
Cowboys?
ashamed of yourself.
Were they exposed yesterday? How about we get Sean Merriman's take?
Why
next?
not?
No mercy.
Well, the Cowboys were shut out by the Colts yesterday, and we're joined by former All-Pro linebacker Sean Merriman. Sean, good to see you again.
We're about to go bare knuckle here.
He hit that desk harder than the Cowboys hit anybody
I
yesterday.
give you that. I give you
You
that.
don't need that right now.
Touche.
Sean, I'll start with you.
Yeah.
Did the Cowboys get exposed yesterday?
Oh, absolutely. No question about it. But more importantly than their play on the field, their leadership is getting exposed right now.
I agree.
They don't have it. And Shannon, it's hard to get a donut in this league nowadays.
Yeah.
These rules are set up for you to score points. It's for you to get donut, you got to try your best not to score. We've been in games, we've been behind and not playing well in the teams I played on. You pan over to the sideline, you don't see any one of the players getting on each other's faces. Nobody's saying anything. And normally it will come from a quarterback position, but Dak doesn't play well enough for him to be that type of leader. He doesn't.
Wow.
You know who I like to see step up is these 2 young linebackers inside, Jalen Smith and Van Der Esch. probably my two favorite guys to watch. Being removed from the game and watching, seeing how these guys play. They remind me a lot of Lance Briggs and Brian Urlacher and how they play the game.
Until yesterday.
Well, the problem is
I didn't see him yesterday.
They're young. Yeah. They're young. And sometimes when you're young like that and you're just getting in the lineup, you don't feel like you can step into that leadership role because you got these older vets. You don't want to step on anybody's toes. They need to. They need to step up because they don't have anybody on that team right now. You know it's not coming from one person. It ain't coming from Jason Garrett. Yeah. He's not that type of coach. He's not that type of person.
He's not Brian Brimstone.
No, he's not. He's not going to do that. So, Sean Lee was the guy that did that, but it's hard to be a leader when you're not on the field.
That is correct.
So they need to find somebody right now. And I'm looking at these two because these two have been playing well all season. They're probably the anchor of that defense. They need to be the ones to step up because right now there's nobody else in that locker room who's going to step up and take that leadership role.
For me, I don't think they got exposed because I'd never overvalued them to begin with. I thought they had limitations. We've seen. I'm still not convinced, although he's going to get played like he's a superstar quarterback, that Dak is the guy. Yeah, he can make plays, but is he that guy? Jerry seems to think so. You seem to think so. But, Skip, I think they're limited for the simple fact we haven't seen them. Now, when they get the lead and they can dictate when we run it, how we throw it, when we throw it, okay, they can be fine. But yesterday they fell behind. And now they put them in a situation where we know you're going to throw on our terms. We know you need to throw the ball.
Yep.
Got nothing. They don't have explosive plays down the field. And so what happens is if you fall behind, you burn up. If you get down by more than a touchdown, you burn up all your clock trying to come back because it's 13 plays, it's 15 plays. That's well and good if you have the lead. But when you're behind, Skip, you need to get points in a hurry. They lack that. And yesterday we saw, Michael Gallup, he started to come on. He had one target. Now your tight ends are starting to be, but these are not tight ends. These are not the tight ends that can go get you $115 and 2 or 3 touchdowns. So teams like, okay, you want to throw to them guys in the flat? Have at it. Now he's falling in love with Zeke, dumping the ball down with him. Zeke ain't going to skip. They're going to get that up. As long they're not going to let you push the ball down the field over their head with Amari Cooper. So I never bought Foley. I still believe their defense has to play well because their offense is hit or miss. But, Skip, if you think that you can go very far with your offense looking like 0 points, I mean, even the Ravens, 2000 Ravens, we were bad. We went 5 games and didn't score a touchdown.
They averaged 11 points for the season.
But we scored. We ain't get blanked. We ain't nobody donut us. Y'all got donutted.
We did. I loved it. It's exactly what this team needed at this juncture of
Oh,
the
that's
season.
what you needed, huh?
Yeah, that's exactly what we needed. I need you to say that they are exactly what you always thought they were.
They are who we thought they were.
Garbage.
And it ain't let them off the hook.
Once again, you're saying the quarterback cannot play. I want Dak Prescott to hear it. He needs to be challenged. He cannot play because he's not that guy. I just heard it from both.
You took him over Andrew Luck.
Yeah, I did, and I will today. I'll take him tomorrow over Andrew Luck. I just will because he is a leader. He is a warrior.
What is Andrew Luck?
Playmaker.
What is Andrew?
He's not a leader.
Yes, he is.
That kind of body language, that nerd.
What your guy sitting on? Your guy, did you see? We showed it.
So
he's sitting on there with his head down.
Okay. So here's the problem he had yesterday. Again, I detailed just a few minutes ago for Shannon. His offense, as I call it, the Dak attack, it moved the ball like crazy. It dominated time of possession, and he made plays that should have been cashed into points. There's a drop touchdown. There's a throw to Allen Hurns. I thought Allen Hurns just looked the wrong way on a back shoulder, and there was a pass interference that should have been 1st and goal at the 5. That's 17 points that got left on the table because teammates didn't cash it or referees didn't cash it. And it's hard for Dak to go scream at a defense that just didn't show up yesterday because what has happened to this team was, listen to me, 5 straight games they had played at a supremely high level because every game was a must-win. And those 5, twice against the defending Super Bowl champs, once back at the scene of the crime in Atlanta. You don't think they were scared they're going to get blown off that field when they went to play Matt Ryan? And then Drew Brees on a Thursday night. You don't think they're afraid they're going to get embarrassed on Thursday Night Football? And the Redskins on a big Thanksgiving Day, late day
held
stage.
Drew Brees to 10 points.
Okay, held Drew Brees to 10 points. And then all they heard last week was, you're Super Bowl bound. You can win the NFC this year. And they went out there and laid an egg because they didn't show up yesterday. They thought they could just rest on their laurels. They're not that good yet. They're not the 85 Bears yet. So they need to hear that they got exposed. And by the way, I get you speaking of leadership. I got to get this off my chest because I forgot this in the A block of the show today. Coach Clapp, Jason Garrett, who couldn't motivate an empty bag. Do you realize late in that game yesterday that Jason Garrett had Ezekiel Elliott in the game down 23-0?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
We play to win.
So we're talking about he had 40 touches against Philly. We're talking about using him up. And Jason Garrett, the robot, is so oblivious on the sideline that he doesn't realize I should just shut him down for the rest of the game. They're not coming back from 23-0 with 4 minutes left in the game.
You tell me Dak can't bring them back?
With 4 minutes
You know what?
left?
Tom Brady brought them back 25-3.
Yeah.
You know what? The defense been
28
saving them. The defense been saving them all year. They needed Dak to do something.
Thank you.
Yesterday, just something. He didn't have to go out and save the day.
Okay.
He just had to do something in order because the defense been saving them the entire
quarterback
year.
who has to do something in the fourth quarter and overtime just the week before went 17-20 for 243 yards and 3 touchdowns and no interceptions just in the fourth quarter and overtime.
But he put him in the bind with those 2 interceptions in the first 3 quarters.
All right, but did he pull them out of that hole the way Andrew Luck has done before?
Yeah.
He did.
What about yesterday?
Yeah, I just showed you.
He was
had
missing.
17 points.
He was missing.
Yeah, 17 points. I just showed you. I detailed it for you. 17 points he put them in position to have in the first half, and they got none.
Well, you can do that when you stop Drew Brees from only getting 10 points.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do that, but we just needed to see something out of Dak, even if it was, we talk about body language, even if we came and seen him shouting or getting in another guy's face or stepping, he didn't do any of that.
He was playing really well in the first half. Is he supposed to go scream at the defense? I don't think he can get away with that.
No.
Okay,
Because
well,
the game was still there for the taking in the first half. It's only 10-0, Skip.
Okay, I got it.
But at some point in time, you feel the game start in the third quarter start to slip away.
Do you realize the defense gave up 178 rush yards? They came in number 1 in the league in yards per rush allowed, and they gave up 178? Are you kidding me?
How long? But
that's just not showing
How
up.
long were they on the field? The problem is that I don't care how great a defense is. When you realize that your offense isn't doing anything, it's going to take a blow at you at some point. And that's
the
what
offense had the football for almost 20 minutes in the first half to 10 minutes.
And
for
they got
Andrew Luck.
0 points.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. But he put them in position to have 17. It could have easily been 17-0. If you get any breaks or any calls, or Olawale catches the touchdown pass, it's going to be 17-0 Cowboys at halftime. Could they hang on to that?
Probably not.
Yeah, probably
But you
they
didn't.
would.
But Skip, you didn't get it. We can't do hypotheticals say that was 17 points.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it comes down
But
to
it wasn't his fault. Was he turning the ball over to high rate like he did against Philly? Did he fumble it? Did he throw interceptions the first
No, he just
half?
didn't do anything.
But you see what you did there.
I didn't do anything.
You just told me in lights out that in the fourth quarter and overtime, he threw 3 touchdowns and had 243 yards. That was all him. Yesterday, you removed the blame from him.
He drives them 10 plays in the first possession.
0 points.
15 plays in the second. That's
0
hard.
points.
In this league, you say it's hard to get goose-egged. It's also hard to go 15 straight plays, and then the next drive, he goes 14 plays.
Yeah, but Skip, if you dinking and dunking and doing plays, it's
Dinking
easy.
and dacking.
You can, dak, exactly.
Dinking and dacking.
Was that a dink and dack to Alan Hearns? Did you think that? Do I have to show the Noah Brown play again? You think that was a dink?
But see, you're under the impression that that call was a back shoulder fade.
I can just see it.
I think Alan Hearns is running that he thinks it's going to be a go route.
The wrong way.
No.
Wrong page.
Dinking and dacking and ain't nothing happening.
Yeah. How about the play?
That's
Noah
what it
Brown?
is.
You don't think it was pass interference? You thought it was like 5 pass interference. You could have thrown 5 flags. He got ridden all the way down the sideline.
In your famous like he like to do it, Jenny. Bing, 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 bing. Yeah. That's what he was doing.
Well, how about Andrew Luck dacking and dinking?
His team won.
He threw for
His
192. 192 yards.
But you know what?
Wow, that's
Skip,
impressive.
He did what he needed to do for them to win a football game. That was it. That same thing that Dak needed to do.
Well,
Dak didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything.
I think he did a whole lot. I just
Dinking
showed you.
and dacking, and what nothing happened.
Okay, I'm going to give you a chance right here, right now, to increase your bet on the NFC East because it's still up there. It's still up for grabs. Let's go up to 4 cases and 4 cases. We've got 3 cases on Dallas winning. You got 3 on Philly, and Philly is still alive. So if you think Dak Prescott is garbage, you put your courage or your convictions where your mouth is.
I tried to do that last week with 2 cases, and you wouldn't give me one.
Yeah, I guess how smart was that?
Exactly.
Yeah,
so now you think you're going to get me a sucker bet, dude.
Okay, why is it a sucker bet? How can a team with no quarterback win the NFC East? I don't get it.
I mean, he's going up against James.
We'll have some guts.
I had some last week.
Okay.
Tried to get 2 cases. You didn't want none of it.
Well, I'll increase to 4 and 4.
Nope.
4 that Dallas wins, 4 that Philly loses.
Nope, I'm good.
Why not?
Good?
Look at that.
Not today?
Look at that, Skip Bayless.
All right, on that note, Sean, thank you for being here. Coming up next, can Lamar Jackson lead the Ravens on a playoff run? We'll discuss that with Michael Vick.
No mercy.
So Lamar Jackson keeps getting it done for Baltimore. The Ravens are now 4-1 with Lamar as the starter after yesterday's win against the Bucs. He had a touchdown pass and 95 yards on the ground. Lamar is the second quarterback in the Super Bowl era with 5 straight games with at least 60 rushing yards, joining our very own Michael Vick. And Michael joins us now, and you spent a lot of time with Lamar. You've shared that with us over the last couple months. Have you been surprised by his success?
I would say I've been sort of surprised because Lamar coming out of college and when we talked, it was all about, look, Lamar, you got to gain a little weight, got to make sure you're ready for the National Football League and what it brings. He asked me a ton of questions that, was all pertaining to play style, play calling.
Right.
He was just very, very curious about what the NFL was about. So, I always felt like he needed a year to sit behind a veteran guy, learn, didn't know what type of system he was going to be in, but when he landed in this system with Baltimore, I thought about it. Marty Morningwig, pass happy. I known him from Philadelphia Eagles days, and so I knew it was going to be a process of learning, getting comfortable, understanding the offense, the scheme, the details, and I go and do an interview this past week, and I see Greg Roman walk out the room, knowing that Marty Morningwig and James Urban, who's a quarterback coach, has good insight. We did some great things, in Philadelphia, not to this extent of what Baltimore is doing, but when he came out, I instantly thought about just concepts and run game and what he's been able to do with mobile quarterbacks over the years, Colin Kaepernick and Tyrod Taylor, as I said yesterday. So
Greg Roman was the offensive coordinator in San Francisco when he went to the Super Bowl.
So, now they're able to put all this together, and it's going to be very hard to stop. So, I was surprised. I thought he needed another year, like I said before, but now I don't feel the same way. I feel comfortable where he's at. I feel like he's grown into a role, and with the offenses that you can come out and run in today's game, very advanced than what we was doing, 10 years ago as far as, wildcat system, pistol formations, and it suits his game very well.
It does.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised teams haven't stacked the line more and forced him to throw the football.
Yeah.
When you run the ball, they're averaging about 230 yards rush per game since he's been in there. Well, if you run the ball like that, it's going to be hard for someone to beat you because the Ravens has a very good defense. They're number 1 in scoring. They're, I think, top 3 in total yards. So what that does, Skip, that they possess the ball so long, they don't give you very many possessions.
Right.
And then when you do get the ball, that Baltimore defense is ready for you. I'm surprised but because it's always 3rd and 3, 3rd and 5, and the throws are short because he's only completing 48% of his passes that's 10 yards or more down the field.
But 59% overall, you can work with that.
Right. So what they're doing is that they're putting you in a situation, it's 3rd and 1, it's 3rd and 3, they catch you off guard. Yeah. Now you can dump the ball and get a first down. This running back, he's running the ball, he's got 100 yards rushing every game.
Almost every game.
Every game. And so, Skip, when you can run the ball like they're running and you play defense like they play it, okay, fine. It's a great system if you have the lead.
Yes.
The question is, what happens if you fall behind 10, you fall behind 14? Can this style of play, because come playoff time, Mike, there'll be a situation where you're probably going to have to come from behind. You're not going to be up every game, every minute of the game. Can this stop? Now, they can cause some people some problems because they can run it, and that defense, they play. It travels. So you see it was raining yesterday. They still ran the ball for 242.
So
and that high-flying offensive Tampa, because they still got D-Jack, they still got Mike Williams, 12 points. So they can take this on the road. You can package this up and say, okay, we can go win a game. But I'm surprised that teams have not forced him to throw the ball more. But it's kind of hard, Skip, when it's 3rd and 1 and 2.
All the time.
I am pleasantly shocked by this. Pleasantly shocked, because I love this kid's poise coming out of Louisville. He has poise. He has body language that makes me confident in watching him. This moment is not too big for him. He doesn't get overwhelmed on the stage. He plays exactly the way he did at Louisville every snap. I don't see him try to do too much or too little. I don't see him flinch. I just see him keep making plays the way he was born to make plays. Okay. The reason I'm shocked is they changed systems and horses in midstream, the way Harbaugh did when he inserted Colin Kaepernick. And may I bring back up the point, how many times we hear teams say, well, we can't change Colin Kaepernick, you know, we can't just suddenly change everything we do. They did. Yeah. Can you find me two quarterbacks more opposite in their approach than Joe Flacco and Lamar Jackson?
No. Man.
Come on. What's Flacco, 6'6"?
Yes.
Can't move an inch?
Straight, drop back.
Just sits and throws it. Yes. And he's got a big arm, we know that, but he's going to only take you so far. Unless you can get him in the playoffs, then he turns into somebody else.
You know what I think? Right? I think the Baltimore Ravens planned for this for a long time. Yep. I mean, you can't just mid-season change the offense and be as effective as you've been the last 5 games. And the way they ball control, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3. Run the ball on first down, which is what most teams want to do, and get some positive yards on first. They're always in down and distances where it's favorable for Lamar and the team, and that's why they can go short. They don't have to throw it downfield. If I could play an offense like that, I would.
There you go.
I mean,
you go.
You want to make football easy.
Right. Well, now that you say this, Mike, it makes me think that even in practice, when they're running their normal set and they come in, when Joe was in there, they would have 3 or 4 plays like this to allow Lamar to do this. Right. Because you can't run scout team because no other scout team runs this offense. So you got to run what the defense is going to see on Sunday. Sure. So just tells me that 3 or 4 plays every period, they would have something very similar to this and says, okay, go do this, Lamar. Okay. Because, and as Mike said, to come in because they're not running anything that Joe Flacco. They're not calling anything that they call for Joe Flacco. No. This is 100% different. Totally different.
I haven't seen one West Coast system concept.
Well said. So what did I tell you before the season started? I'm throwing this kid into the fire in game 1 because he can take me farther in the regular season than Flacco has shown me over the last 6 regular seasons. They'd made the playoffs 1 time in 6 years, and he was, at many of those points, the highest paid player in all of pro football. Yep. What do I call him? Joe Fluco, because he's magic in the postseason, but it's just hard for him to get you to the postseason. And in this case, this kid lights their fire. He floats all their boats. The defense plays higher and hotter for this kid because they know he's going to make plays his way. It's not going to be explosive. And again, look, I hope people let this sink in what he's done. He's 4-1, and he had them in position to beat Kansas City again. They're up 24-17. It took a 4th and 9 prayer from Patrick Mahomes.
And a 4th and 3.
And it did.
In this offense, if they continue to add in this offense and continue to create concepts, watch more film, watch different teams and what they do with mobile quarterbacks, this can be scary for a long time for the Baltimore Ravens. They already got the defense, and then now they add an offense with ball control, keeping the opposing quarterback off the field regardless of who he is. Right. It speaks volume.
Hey, I realize the margin for error is small.
Yes.
And it's kind of like your 2000 Ravens, except they're not that good on defense, right? They're not that good, but again, they need to get ahead and kind of stay ahead because he can't score 35 or 40.
No.
And he can't come back from 21 down. It's just not what he's going to be able to do.
For them, I want people to understand, to run the ball like they're running it, they're getting 240, 230s, 220s. Yeah. That's unheard of. That's Oklahoma, Nebraska in the 70s, 80s, Skip, running the ball like that.
And I know it's dangerous, and I know you've counseled him, and you got to get down, but I haven't seen him take big shots. I haven't seen him where I flinched, where I cringed for him.
You know what? One of my concerns, Skip, him coming out of college, me and Lamar talked, gained 10 pounds, put some weight on. I know what it's like. I'm speaking of experience.
Are you?
And when I see him at the draft, I'm kind of concerned because he still looks sort of frail. And then I see him last week, and he's bulked up, and he's like 6'2". Yeah. So he has the frame, and that's why he's not getting hit so hard. You know, I was 6 feet 212, So the impact was different. He's
What do you
6'2".
think he weighs? 190?
No, I think he's about 220.
Oh, you think
Really?
he's
Yeah, he's about
220?
220.
Oh, well, if he's
Yeah.
220, I thought he was
Yeah,
more
he
like
was-
willowy.
Yeah, he was bulked up the
Okay.
last when
Well,
I
last
seen him
time
this
you
past
saw him.
week. Yeah.
Really? Okay. That'll work.
That was good to see. That was a positive.
Oh,
sign.
good. He took your advice.
Yep.
I mean, I
did.
would come to you too. I mean, you're the right person to go
Yep.
to about this.
I
Well,
got
the
you.
big challenge for the Ravens at the Chargers on Saturday, that's going to be a big one
a
for
big
him.
one.
But
That's the game.
Michael, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. A Packers legend is taking some shots at Aaron Rodgers. You guys hear about this? We'll
Finally.
tell you.
Oh, finally. Really?
No mercy.
So it was not a good day for Aaron Rodgers yesterday. His Packers lost in Chicago, officially eliminating them from playoff contention. And Rodgers also threw an interception for the first time since September. Packers reporter Tom Silverstein wrote, quote, Rodgers seemed to miss open receivers or make inaccurate throws that were almost always completions in the past. And even former Packers Pro Bowl safety Leroy Butler took a shot at Rodgers. He tweeted, I mean, really, if you can't outplay Mitch Trubisky, how good are you? Aaron's only job is to outplay the other quarterback. Agree? You will never win scoring 17 points.
Interesting.
Skip,
Ouch.
is it finally time to question Aaron Rodgers?
So, Shannon Sharpe, you say he's the GOAT. And I ask repeatedly on this show, how good is he? Because I don't see enough there. I have been telling you for almost 2.5 years on this show, show me more. If you're the GOAT, show me this, show me that. Don't show me what you continue to show me this year, because it smacks of nothing but overrated. To me, Aaron Rodgers continues to live off reputation. He continues to live by some media apologists like the one sitting across from me who
No, I don't
continues
apologize
to say,
for it.
you don't?
You haven't heard what I'm going to say.
Okay, well, we'll see about that. And to me, Aaron even continues to live off the fame generated by his State Farm commercials, which seem to air every other commercial. Am I right?
I don't know, every
just
commercial.
like almost every commercial is Aaron Rodgers State Farm, and it plants seeds in the subliminal seeds in people's minds, like he's the greatest, man. He's in every commercial, and he's just not. And once again, I say, is this overrated? Your QBR this year is 19th in the league. You're 28th of 33 qualified quarterbacks in completion percentage this year. Wow. You're 19th in yards per attempt. Is that Aaron Rodgers? Are those GOAT numbers? And then what really caught my eye this morning in USA Today was Tom Silverstein, who has covered the Green Bay Packers since 1989. And he really knows Packer Nation and what it's all about. And he covered Brett Favre, obviously. And he really took off on Aaron today, and I applauded every line of it, because here's just a couple of quick lines. Rodgers was under pressure all day from defensive coordinator Vic Fangio's outstanding unit. Obviously, they played at Chicago and lost. But great quarterbacks make plays when the opportunity presents itself, and Rodgers did not, ... again. Because then he detailed game after game when Rodgers has come up short and failed and misfired. And he concludes the degree to which Rodgers' invincibility has shrunk this season has to make any coaching candidate cringe when thinking about taking this job. That's the GOAT you're talking about. So Jenny read the quote earlier about he just misses open receivers right and left.
Yes.
He missed a couple of big ones yesterday. And I'm saying, who is this guy? If you're that guy, how can you play this? You're living off the opening night game in which you came back in the fourth quarter down 21-3 and beat the Chicago Bears on a bad knee. You're still living off that, because after that this year, I see next to nothing that you have done. You even lost to the washed-up Tom Brady. I mean, how can you defend that?
It's not a Tom Brady
Seriously.
segment.
Yeah, but Tom Brady needs to retire because he is done. He is over the hill, and maybe Aaron needs to think about hanging him up also. Right, Shannon?
Yeah. I know Leroy Butler very well. He and I came out in the same draft, very good friends, made a couple of Pro Bowls together, had some great battles. And yes, it's time to question Aaron Rodgers.
Wow.
I don't care how great you are. And a lot of times, the more great a person is, people think they're above reproach. No. No one. I don't care if you win 10 Super Bowls. You're 15-time MVP. People can question your game and your play. And Aaron Rodgers' play demands that we question it. His season has not been very good. It's a disappointment. At the end of the day, it's about winning and losing games. And yeah, there have been times that I thought he played well, but it didn't go his way. But there were throws yesterday he left out there, and that's unacceptable. For a guy that's accurate that he's been over the course of his career, for him to play like he played yesterday is unacceptable. And like I said, Chicago did yesterday what they should have did opening night. Because remember, Skip, they were bringing pressure. They get him injured, and now all of a sudden they back off. Vic Fangio kept it coming. He's like, nah, we ain't dialing anything back. And Khalil Mack picked right up where he left off from game one. He kept coming. And they pressured him, and eventually the pressure was so immense that he missed open throws. Because sometimes it's not about the sack. Sometimes it's about turning up the heat so much that you think it's hotter than it actually is. And that's what we started to see from Aaron yesterday. So absolutely. Do I think, can they find a better quarterback in Green Bay? Absolutely. Now, obviously. And they just gave him $140 million on top of the, $35-40 million they already owed him. So he's going to be there for the foreseeable future. But yesterday leaves a lot to be desired. And they're going to have to take a long look, okay, from an offensive line standpoint. Skip, he's been sacked 44 times, which is the fifth most in all of football. And the injury, I think the injury really set him behind the 8-ball, Skip, because it limited his mobility.
Really?
And I think that had a lot to do with early on with him throwing the ball away.
But by all accounts, he's just fine now.
Boy, they say he tweaked his groin yesterday on that Hail Mary. But that's not I don't do that. I used to have a restaurant, Jenny, and I served a lot of excuses. But it was just so hard to keep them coming, keep the excuses fresh. So I closed that business, and I just opened up one with hot ales. And guess who I got to serve yesterday, Skip Bayless? Yeah, you know. But anyway, Aaron, you didn't play. You haven't played well in a while. And at the end of the day, yeah, you still going to maintain that 4-1 touchdown to interception ratio. You're still going to be able to make throws that only quarterbacks can dream of. But at the beginning of the day, your job is to win games.
Yeah.
And right now, you're losing more than you're winning. And that's unacceptable.
Wow. So last week you admitted that you have given up on Kirk Cousins, and now it sounds like you've stepped off the bandwagon featuring Aaron Rodgers.
How dare you put Kirk Cousins' name in the same breath as Aaron Rodgers?
Well, they belong in your
No, they don't.
Because they were your two guys.
Aaron's still my guy.
Is he?
But I don't make excuses.
Has he lost his GOAT status with a year like this? And by the way, last year wasn't very pretty either.
When he plays bad, I have no problem sitting here saying Aaron played bad. I don't make excuses and say, well, the defense did this and head coach got fired during the middle of the season. All I do is say, nah, Aaron, you got to get it done. Somebody else I know make excuses when a guy starts to flinch in the pocket. Make excuses when a guy makes horrible turnovers.
And that's when somebody across from that guy you're referring to says that the other quarterback is garbage and he gets Fs for almost every game, and he got an F for his whole season last year.
Yeah.
I'm speaking of Dak Prescott, who doesn't belong in the same sentence with Aaron Rodgers. Although Dak has played better than Aaron Rodgers, and actually Dak head-to-head with Aaron Rodgers has outplayed him 3 times.
Let me ask you a question.
3 times.
If you don't mind me asking.
You believe in that?
If you don't mind me asking, what do you think the Cowboys' record would be if you switch places? Aaron Rodgers on the Cowboys and Dak's on Green Bay. What do you think the record would be?
I don't know. The way Aaron Rodgers is playing,
Skip, stop playing.
It'd probably be worse.
Skip, stop playing.
What is he now? Like 5-8-1?
You know what his
5-8-1?
You know what his record is.
Really?
But I can assure you, they would be Super Bowl favorite.
Well, Tom Silverstein concludes that somebody needs to be hired to coach this team who isn't afraid to be critical of Aaron Rodgers in meetings or in public.
Hold on.
Boom.
That's going to happen.
Hold on.
Boom.
You missed the boat. That's what Winston Moss said. Now, he kind of walked to the back a little bit.
I think he walked.
He walked, but it's hard.
That's going to have to
He
be
ain't delete that tweet. That tweet's still up.
I'm sure it is. Okay, what about this, though? Is Skip ready to jump off the Patriots
good question.
bandwagon? We'll find out
Good
next.
question.
Yeah, he got a life reserve on.
Yeah.
No mercy.
So the Patriots, they're struggling right now. They lost in Pittsburgh yesterday, which dropped them to 9-5. They've lost back-to-back games in December for the first time since 2002. And New England dropped behind the Texans for the 3rd seed in the AFC. Skip, are the Patriots still your pick to get to the Super Bowl?
As you know, Jenny and Shannon, I never, ever give up on my preseason picks until it's completely and utterly over.
But
I must admit publicly, I do not love the Patriots' chances of getting to this year's Super Bowl. Bill Belichick's defense just isn't good enough to go win a road playoff game this year. So do I love their chances of winning at the Chargers or at the Chiefs or at the Steelers? I do not. That defense gave up 189 yards rushing at Miami and nearly overcame it, and then 178 yards rushing at Pittsburgh yesterday and almost overcame it, but did not. This defense is 31st in yards allowed rushing per attempt. Think about that, 31st. It's 29th in sacks, just not good enough to go win a Super Bowl. It's 23rd in third down conversions allowed. That's just pathetic by Bill Belichick standards. And I'm going to say it again, he is losing his fastball coaching this defense. Yesterday, they had 14 penalties for 104 yards. Is that a Belichick team? No.
Skip, that's an anomaly.
Okay. All right, but it was a big game at Pittsburgh where you've owned the Steelers, and it doesn't smack of being on a December roll to the Super Bowl. Now, and by the way, Josh Gordon just disappeared yesterday, and that really troubles me because I thought Tom Brady finally had a trustable wide receiver other than slot receiver Julian Edelman. And by your own admission and viewpoint, Rob Gronkowski is just this broken down shell of himself and can no longer be trusted by Tom Brady. So obviously they have two fairly winnable games, although in the way they're going right now, I'm not sure, but they got two division games left. They got Buffalo at home. They got the Jets at home. Do I think they'll win those games? I think they will. And if they do, they're going to win the division, obviously, and they're going to have one home playoff game. But they might not have a bye, and they might have to go on the road for two playoff games. And I'm just not sure. Could they win one of them? Maybe, depending on which one you showed me. But again, to win at Chargers, at Chiefs, at Steelers, I just don't feel it right now, even though I still think Tom Brady is playing at a remarkably high level at age 41.
Jen, ask me that question again.
Do you believe that the Patriots are going to head to the Super Bowl?
I never believed that to begin with, so I don't know why I would change that now. Skip, you said something. You said you don't know if Coach Belichick's defense is good enough to go win a road playoff game. Given what you've seen of the Patriots offense, are you sure they can go on the road and win a road playoff game?
Well, it looked like they overcame that defense at Miami until the Miami Miracle happened.
Okay, what about yesterday?
Wasn't good enough yesterday.
What about against Jacksonville?
Well, now we're going back to Blake Bortles, throwing for 373.
Whoa.
373 yards against Bill Belichick? Really?
I'm talking about your offense.
No, it's not good enough to win at Jacksonville against Blake Bortles.
Oh, so
and what happened last year? They were down 20-10 to Blake Bortles in the fourth quarter, and Tom Brady happened. He threw for 138 in the fourth quarter at Foxborough.
So why didn't that happen this year?
Wow.
Why didn't that happen yesterday?
Well, we'll see. Again, that happened at Foxborough, and usually they've had Foxborough in their back pocket in the playoffs, so they could fall back on that. And it looks like they're not going to have that anymore.
Well, the last time they won a road playoff game was 2006. The last time they didn't have a bye was 2009. And we know what happened. Joe Flacco and that Ravens team when Joe Flacco was a rookie, and they beat the brakes off the Patriots. Skip, we know they fight very hard to get home field. They bring you into Foxborough and they beat your eyes out. They're 19-3 in home playoff games. Tom Brady's 3-4 in road playoff games. And as I said, he hasn't won one of those since 2006. So it's very important for them to get home field. Skip, right now I have them as the fourth best team in the AFC. I got them behind the Chargers, behind the Chiefs, behind the Texans.
Okay.
Now
I forgot about the Texans. It'd be hard to win at Texans. They beat the Texans at Foxborough on opening day, but that was a long time ago.
I do believe now. Do I believe they toss up 161 and half a dozen other whether they play the Steelers again? But ultimately, it's going to come down to this, Skip. Your guy's going to have to stand in there. Because, see, what I don't understand is why people don't blitz him more. If you blitz,
you know what? They went after him several times yesterday, and they paid for it several of those times.
But see, here's the thing. Sometimes, Skip, sometimes it's about planting a seed. See, sometimes it's more about letting you know I'm going to hit you in your mouth as opposed to, because sometimes you can sack the quarterback and you bring him down, it doesn't really hurt, as opposed to hitting him in them chops and making him flinch at the end.
I can say that about Patrick Mahomes. Same syndrome, right?
No, Patrick Mahomes, stop.
Well,
we're keeping this.
Hit him in the mouth. He's not been hit in the mouth like he's going to get hit in the mouth in this league.
Hold on, talk about Skip.
Tom Brady has been.
Oh, and we started to see him flinch too. We saw it yesterday, Skip Bayless. We saw it.
You know what? I hark back to ESPN, my days with Ryan Clark, and he used to talk about Tom Brady. We made Tom Brady see ghosts. See ghosts. He was flinching in the pocket. I'm like, really?
Did you see it yesterday? I don't know about what Ryan them had him do, but I'm talking about yesterday. You saw that dying goat.
We are almost done
Dying
with the show.
goat.
And I just realized we talked
Dying
about
goat.
Tom Brady struggling, the Cowboys struggling, Aaron Rodgers struggling. Sorry, Shannon, you're not off the hook because your guy, Goat James, well,
Goat James?
he struggled as
Really?
well.
You had
Discuss
to get it
that
in.
next.
No mercy.
Time for our final topic of the day. The Lakers were blown out by the Wizards on the road yesterday.
What?
LeBron had his worst game as a Laker, finishing with a season-low 13 points. And his free throw struggles, yeah, they continued. Shannon, is this loss a big deal or no big deal?
No, this is who they are. And I told you the thing that's going to keep them from reaching their ultimate goal is they turn the ball over far too much, 22 yesterday, and they shoot free throws poorly, 61% yesterday.
They or he?
They, as a team, they're the worst free throw shooting team in all the NBA.
Maybe
and he's
that's
a part of
because
that
of
team.
him.
Stop it, Skip. It's not your turn, it's my turn. 6 turnovers in the first quarter, they fall behind by 10 points. And it was never the same after that. And that's the reoccurring theme. Turnovers and poor free throw shooting, because even if you fall behind, they foul you. You can't make up the ground when the game's stop because you can't make your free throws. And this is sad.
Wow. Sad. Are we seeing some signs of age here from the aging
boy.
king?
You know what, Skip?
I don't
A lot
know.
of age
I'm just
talk
asking.
Averaging 29 points a game, really?
Do you realize 13 points, that's the lowest he's ever scored against the Wizards in 65 games?
Okay,
65 games?
It happens.
He had only 6 rebounds and 3 assists, and he went 3 of 6 from the free throw line again? Really? Wow. Now, I realize it was the second
Back-to-back.
and he had to play Michael Jordan's team, and he gets sky high for Michael's team.
And what did he do?
He
What did he-
triple-doubled, as did my man Lonzo, right?
Yep.
Double triple-doubles, right?
Bronzo.
company.
But
New
we're
name.
starting to see these periodic nights, like the night at Houston to start the road trip last Thursday. He was just lifeless. He hit the wall, ran out of gas.
He did not.
I don't
Skip.
know. This looks like runs out of gas game right here.
They don't look like no run of the game. He had an off night.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports. One of one.